Morbius pop. Wait, no. Mobius popcorn.
Mobius butter. Do I still be Scooby?
Do you want to be Scooby?
Mobius butter. That's Zavok from the Planet Hex.
Okay, we're going. We restart the bit. Planet Hex butter. Wait, no. Planet Hex popcorn.
Planet. It's not. It's called. Wait, the Lost Hex butter.
Wait. Lost Hex root beer. Wait, no, I skipped nachos.
Did somebody say Lost Hex nachos? It's me, Zama.
Get the fuck out of here, Zama.
Oh, I said, what I don't eat. I'm hungry and I'm fat.
I feel like Zama is like Harold from Hey Arnold if he had nothing else besides that. But that's what your Zama sounds like right now.
I mean, doesn't he say like, oh, mom's called?
Huh? Rosa?
Where am I?
You're in the Lost Hex. Hello, welcome ready to start the podcast. I'm Ryan Rippity. Who else is here?
Nintendo. Hey y'all, it's me, Nintendo.
Rosa, I hope you know your spit's failing because you keep cutting out.
It's okay.
Oh.
No, do it again, Rosa.
No.
No. No? No, oh, it's okay, Rosa. Rosa, I'm Seep. I'm the one with the space helmet on the screen.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
What if it cracks?
What?
You're cutting out pretty bad right now, Rosie. You might want to check your mic.
Testing.
There we go. That's
What if
better.
your, like, helmet cracked?
Your helmet cracked?
What will happen to you, Steve? Yeah, what if Steve's
My
cracked
head would
one
get really
day?
big. It was like,
I guess I should have worn my spacesuit.
Hey, who's our guest?
Hey guys.
What the
Hello
wow?
everyone, Nintendo here. I'm the guest star. Currently in OC form.
Sonic is the #1 movie ever made. It's the funniest movie of the year. Critics and audiences are saying Sonic is the #1 movie in America. It's the funniest movie ever made. Rated PG.
how do I make it stop?
Let me help you there. Hello, Nick. Welcome to the show.
Hi, good. Is my audio?
Yeah, I turned you up a
can you
bit.
hear me?
I turned you up a bit more. Yeah.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, I can turn the gain up myself on my end. See, we did put a lot of preparation into this, everybody. We're super prepared.
I've never prepared for a show ever.
Start the podcast, season 3.
Yes. What was Nintendo? You're here. Nintendo. I'm all out of sorts. What did we talk about last? Was it Space Jam?
So my last episode was in season 2. It was Space Jam, A New Legacy, and Johnny Test on Netflix.
Wow. So that was like 4 years ago now.
Yeah. Back in
Jeez.
2018.
Well, yeah, it's great to have you back, though. It's great to have you in theaters.
Rated PG. Sonic.
What have you put up to in this time? You know, the time skip.
Yeah, in the time skip. I've been really busy. I guess I can talk about, like, I don't know, the videos I made.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I did a Johnny Test video that did pretty well. Talked about more cartoon DVDs. That video was fun. I got really pedantic about SpongeBob artwork.
I'm glad someone talked about that.
It's my favorite part of the video. I did an Adventure Time video that flopped because I put it out 3 months after Distant Lands ended.
Oh no.
No time to work on that one.
Alright.
Did a end of the year video. That was fun. But the biggest video, I did a video on seasons 1 through 5 of the Fairly Odd Parents.
Yes.
And that was took a lot of time and effort out of my life. Didn't get to see my loved ones. I was trapped in a room for 3 months with Butch
Your little
Hartman
fairy
and
cave.
his friends. Yeah,
Well, yeah,
that's the ideal living situation.
it was a great video.
I liked it a lot.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
and I'm glad it means you're.
I'm
sorry.
to get through the night.
Oh my
What
god.
the heck is that? What was
Is
that?
there a chainsaw?
What was that?
Sorry.
That's Butch Hartman.
Oh,
Ah,
yeah,
not
yeah.
again! No! Ow!
Oh, it's-
Ow!
Now, Nick, I don't recall. Did you talk about the Boyle kid in your Fairly Odd Parents review? I don't remember if you did.
Elmer?
Nick,
Elmer?
Elmer?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, sorry, I turned up my audio a little bit.
Alright.
my Boyle. A great
Yeah,
character.
Elmer-
Like Boyle,
Yeah.
I'm the funniest character.
Well, he's named after Butch because his full name is Elmer Hartman. So I know that. I did not talk about Elmer. I honestly, the only thing notable about Elmer is that he gets crapped on a lot, and there's like jokes in multiple episodes about his Boyle being evil and coming alive.
I forgot
About
about
it.
that. It like talks
Yeah.
to him.
hmm
Yeah.
Should have been in more
Oh.
episodes.
Yeah, he could
A lot of
have.
potential, a lot of missed potential in that Boyle. First character that Fairly Odd Parents is known for dropping a lot of characters. Elmer's Boyle was one of the first to go.
Yeah.
I love.
Shame.
We'll get there when we get there. We talk about Fairly Odd Parents, but I love just watching that show lose its characters in real time.
Yeah. Well, we get new ones in the show though, like the Squirrely Scout gang. I can't wait for you to talk about those, Nick.
In the Fairly Odder or
No, in like season 10, the Squirrely Scout, like they added like new friends for Timmy.
oh yeah, Timmy gets new friends that are not named, but are not Chester, AJ, Sanjay, or Elmer. Great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I have full disclosure. So I've watched this video that Fairly Odd Parents video took a long time to do. So I started watching I think like the day after I recorded that Ready to Start the Podcast episode.
Oh my god.
Yeah. So that took up till October to watch all 10 seasons. And then I took a break. I did watch the live action movies, and the day that Fairly Odder came out, I just felt, since it was like right after I dropped my Fairly Odd Parents video, I felt compelled to watch it as soon as possible because I knew that it's gonna be months until that video comes out. I'm gonna try to cover everything else in one go, but behind, I just felt compelled to just get it done with. So like I'm done watching Fairly Odd Parents stuff. That's the goal.
You've been freed. Now you can watch Jimmy Neutron.
Yeah, you know what? Jimmy Neutron's on the docket at some point. I do want to do a Jimmy Neutron video because I feel like at some point it's like a comparison show to Fairly Odd Parents.
Yeah.
But I think Ned's Declassified is like the secret third part of that Fairly Odd Parents video series I'm doing because it's like, what if you did a live action Butch Hartman cartoon but good?
Yeah, I mean Timmy's dad's voice actors in that show.
Yeah, and Cosmo and Wanda are in an episode.
Of course.
So a lot of overlap.
All right.
All right, you know,
That's wonderful.
before we get into some of the bigger topics this week, there's
Nice
two bigger things. Someone in the Discord, Ready to Start Cast, practically begged me to talk about the Marmaduke trailer. Did you all see the Marmaduke trailer?
Pete
Netflix's
Davidson
Marmaduke?
is Marmaduke.
Yes.
Marmaduke
Well,
is the number one
second in
movie
life as
ever
magician.
made.
I think I'm nicer to like kind of mediocre animated films than some people are. I try to like find positives and everything. I tend to get more mad at stuff that's like kind of morally corrupt in some ways. Like, I had problems. Morally corrupt's not the right word, I guess. I tend to get more mad at stuff that feels ungenuine more than like bad, I would
Right.
say.
Mhm.
I gotta say though, this is the ugliest movie I've ever seen.
Yeah. It's a movie. It's an animated film coming to Netflix. Who's making it? I forgot. It's just some I think it's like they made like Isn't it like a studio that made like one other movie before?
I have
I
no
have not
idea.
done any research into the Marvel
See,
studio, but the character designs give me big Adams Family,
yeah.
those humans.
Yeah,
Reminds
that's
me
why I
a lot
looked
of
it up,
them.
but it's not. I don't think it's the same like studio.
Yeah, because I thought it was them too, because it has that same like the limbs. The limbs in this are like string limbs.
Yeah, this is. I think I described it as it looks like what Illumination movies look like in your head if you really hate them. Like, it's just like the worst of it, just completely exaggerated.
Because all the characters look like the John Lennon from the Minions. That guy.
Yeah.
Who's John Lennon from the Minions? I don't remember him showing up in that movie.
He's like the one slur. I don't know why I said John Lennon.
Well, he's like the British guy. He has like a guitar or something, right?
Yeah, and then he like
Oh,
tortures
you're
the
talking
minions.
about the Trey Parker character from Despicable Me 3, right?
No, come on, Nintendo!
I don't know what you're talking about. John Lennon is not in Despicable Me.
He's like the guy. He like tortures the minions, but they have fun together. He looks
the sidekick to the main villain.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I think I know what you're talking about.
Nick, I thought you were a real one, being a real Minions fan, but no, you're just like the others.
Come on.
I'm gonna be honest. I've seen all of the Despicable Me movies and Minions except for Despicable Me 2 in theaters. I don't know why.
I mean, hey, it's the only way to watch them. That's why they held off on Rise of Gru for so long.
Yeah. Of course.
That's gotta be one of the longest movie delays I've seen in a recent. Because that movie was delayed once because it wasn't finished. Was kind of the main reason, and then it got delayed for COVID reasons. So for at least a full year, that movie's just been done.
Well, you say longest, but I think there's one other standout example that is sort of fresh in our minds.
I just want to say about Marmaduke before we get there. The scene in the Marmaduke trailer where he eats all that food and gets like bloated and like emits the biggest gaseous green fart cloud ever. It's the most disgusting thing I've seen in a cartoon ever, and it made me actively repulsive.
Yeah,
Why?
it's pretty. Why?
Why?
So I have a thing with fart jokes. I can live with a fart joke, like a joke about a fart, but I think the more like descriptive and like the bigger emphasis you put on the smell and impact of it, the worse it is for me. Like I think it's disgusting when you do that. In the Marmaduke one, it's huge. Its belly like grows and grumbles around,
Right,
and then that's the biggest green grass fart ever, and I hate it.
Okay. All right.
It's like the Joker's toxic gas erupts from Marmaduke's inside.
it's like a green smog. It's pretty bad. It like seeps out. It's not just like
seep.
It's not. All right, next movie topic.
So if you saw Sonic 2 in theaters, you might have that was Sonic 2. Kind of like the bonus. The main attraction was the Paws of Fury trailer.
Yeah, which came out at. Did they like say they were gonna show that? Like they didn't even upload it online at first.
Yeah,
they just put it in the right before Sonic 2.
Yeah,
I guess to surprise
on people. Wednesday before the movie came out on Friday, and suddenly there's I recognize the iconic characters from Blazing Samurai, and I'm like, oh my god. It's finally here. It's finally upon us. And I spend the entire trailer trying to formulate a tweet instead of actually maybe taking a screenshot or proof that I saw the trailer or, watching it.
Right.
Someone in chat says they saw the Puss in Boots trailer when they saw the movie. I wish I was you.
Yeah, me too, honestly. It's really the history of that movie is very interesting. If you've never heard of Paws of Fury, what is it called? Paws of Fury: The Legend of Hank, which is such a great title. I'm just imagining, like when they came up with the title, like Legend of Hank, because originally it was called Blazing Samurai, which is a play on Blazing Saddles, which is like the Mel Brooks movie from like 800 years ago now.
Yeah, about that.
I don't know why they wanted to like make a big like it's a weird thing to like base a kids movie on. But they changed the title to Paws of Fury: Legend of Hank, and I'm just imagining like what who who was the marketing executive that just decided like okay, I get it, like no, we don't name it after Blazing Saddles, that doesn't make sense, it's gonna confuse people. So then you get Paws of Fury, which is like okay, and then they add the subtitle Legend of Hank. Like, who is Hank? Are they expecting people? Yeah, are they expecting people to like see this and like once everyone has seen this movie, like they're gonna know who Hank is, right? Like you say Hank, and it's just like ubiquitous as like Mickey Mouse, you know, like Hank, and everyone starts thinking of like, oh yeah, the movie Legend of Hank. Like I don't know, but anyway,
I like
it's
this
finally
this,
here.
that comment because I thought the same thing. They stole the title from Yokai Watch.
Oh my God.
What?
When Jabanian does his like main attack, he goes Paws of Fury.
Oh yeah.
Now, if you watched it on
Right,
Disney
right.
XD after it aired after Milo Murphy, you know, you might know.
Yeah, that Power Hour really defined this podcast. Milo Murphy's Law and Yokai Watch.
I can just imagine all the commercials. Like, at 6, the Milo Murphy Yokai Watch. And it's like they key in the characters together and make it look like they're interacting.
Wow, I Nate.
and then Zach is like, awkward. Okay, whatever.
I have to say, you know, going off the previous Marmaduke trailer, my favorite part of this trailer was the very long fart joke at the end of this one too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're 2 for 2.
Yes, they like the warrior cats eat a bunch of beans and then they start farting and then it makes like a fireball or something. Oh, that movie feels like a movie that was planned to be released. Oh, did we even talk about that? Like the history? It was like planned to be
Oh,
released.
there's such a long history to this movie. This was announced like, God, if it was a good while ago now.
Yes.
Can we put a picture of it on the screen so
Yeah,
everyone can
I mean-
really let it sink in?
I'm gonna get the original
Yeah.
poster with the cat's giant fat butt.
And the
Yeah.
Hello Kitty thong.
Of course.
Get that in there.
Rosa, I gotta
Yeah.
ask real quick. You saw Sonic. Did you see this trailer in front of the movie?
The Paws of Fury.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you see that in front of your Sonic 2 viewing?
Yes, unfortunately.
How was it?
I hate it.
All right. You know, I gotta say, it made me feel a bit nostalgic. You know, it's definitely like it's one of those animated kids movies where it's like featuring the voices of George Takei, Ricky Gervais, Samuel L. Jackson, Michael Cera. It's like Michael Cera.
You know, I
What's
just
the last
noticed.
movie Michael Cera's been in?
I just noticed this poster I just
You
put on
know.
screen is one without the Hello Kitty on the thong.
Oh,
No,
Ryan.
Ryan, you
How are we gonna
failed
get
us.
How do we get the Hello Kitty fans in seats to watch this beautiful satire comedy? A beautiful send up to the comedic works of Mel Brooks.
So part of this film's thing. Oh, go on, Rosa. Sorry,
I was gonna ask what he's doing these days.
Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks?
Yeah.
Probably, I don't know, he's like 85. He's probably reading a newspaper right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what old people do. They read newspapers.
Yeah. So,
So
yeah, go ahead,
this
Ryan.
thing's production is wild. You could probably find a video on it pretty easily on YouTube. There's like I think a few. I want to say like the thing was for a while it was like what was it like? It was like an open source movie. Like it was like a contest to animate it or something. Like there was a very weird thing.
Yeah, I haven't done a lot of research into it, but I know there's a good Rebel Taxi video, which is where I heard it be talked about the most. Which it was basically some sort of contest. It reminds me of like the Shack Tunes thing,
Oh,
where you
Oh
could
my God.
Shack
random
Tunes.
random people. Oh man, Shack Tunes is 2019 throwback. Yeah. You would you would like submit your cut or scene of the movie. So they basically like crowdsource animate it. And now I think this is under like Paramount
Yeah.
doing it. Because I think it's like a Paramount Animation production, which is why the trailer was in front of Sonic and shown at the Kids' Choice Awards.
Oh, that's right.
Do you
Oh my
think
God.
does Paramount just take the things that people give up on? Because Sony gave up on Sonic originally.
Mhm.
Do you think Sony regrets that? Do you think they're like, ah, shit?
Well, I don't know who gave up
Sony-
on Wonder Park, which is one of the recent Paramount animated
yeah.
features.
Has that come to Nickelodeon yet? Weren't they gonna make a TV show based on that?
Yeah, they would, and then it disappeared from like their slate, and I don't think there's been a word on it since. I'm not sure what
Uh-oh.
happened with that. Maybe they just made a pilot or something. I don't know.
Not
No
Boomer.
Yeah,
I
what
think
about Boomer the Bear?
I think that would have made that would make a good Paramount Plus like stocking stuffer. You know, just bulk up your kids' library.
That's a
and say
really
that
funny way to put it.
yeah.
Yeah, let's spend millions of dollars on this CGI animated television series. You know, it'll be a nice bonus.
Yeah, we could put it on our like Paramount trailers. Have Boomer in the background of like Beavis and Butthead and oh
You could be
god.
on Paramountain or Mount Paramount or whatever they're calling it.
Yeah. And they go inside the cave with Dora.
They can meet Grandpa Patrick from the Patrick Star Show, voiced by Master Shake. My name is.
Yeah. What were we talking about? Hank movie?
Yeah.
I looked on the Wikipedia. There's like 5 companies that are like attached to this movie. I'm just trying to picture like the like the production company cards before the movie starts. Like it's got the Nickelodeon Movies banner. It's got like Paramount Productions. It's got a few others.
Like that Family Guy joke with all the logos.
Yeah.
All right, movie.
I love that joke.
You know, why I, you know, as a 20-year-old animation fan, I see this and I'm like, all right, this is stupid. I'm not gonna see it. But you know, I think this movie's serving like a point. I think animated films are getting too good again. Like I feel like there's been a lot of really good like animated
Yeah.
films recently. I think there needs to be like a Blazing Samurai in theaters. You know, this movie's
You made
serving
a
its
good Sonic
purpose.
the Hedgehog movie.
Exactly.
We've gone too far.
Yeah, there needs to be like a Blazing. We're like far past the days of like emoji movies in theaters. We need like Blazing
Yeah.
Samurais back in the theaters.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
DreamWorks is doing these really nice looking movies. What's going on? Someone needs to make something like a good 5 out of 10. There's a market
Yeah.
for it.
Remember that time? I'm like so nostalgic. We had a good string of like, we had Norm of the North in theaters, and like you said, the Emoji Movie, and there was like, what was that movie called? The Snow Dogs, Arctic Dogs.
So it's like a planet made of poopy.
With Jeremy
Yes,
Renner
the one
and
with the
when the cold brew hits. That's all
We're
I
getting-
remember.
We're getting like too ambitious with animation. Like I'm sick of all this. Like, oh, it's like inspired by visuals of like classic anime. Like, no, none of that. Let's just have. We need more like DC League of Super Pets. kind of movies, where it's like,
Yes.
you know, oh, the lighting is pretty. We need more like that.
This is
Go on.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Go on, Nick.
I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I'm terrible at not interrupting people on podcasts.
No,
But I
don't
was
worry.
gonna
This whole
say-
show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I don't know if it was one of you that said this, or someone pointed this out on Twitter, that there's a couple shots at the beginning of the Paws of Fury Legends of Hank trailer that have kind of that stylized comic book-esque, like what 2D shading to it that looks a little stylized, and I feel like it's a movie. It's like, oh no, Spider-Verse came out. Oh no, the bar, it's been raised. So they
Yes.
gotta catch up by having something that looks a little bit cool and a little bit expensive.
Right. Like you're an artist, right? Make this one shot look better.
Add a comic book.
shader to it.
Add a comic book
Yes.
filter.
Man,
I don't.
and the trailer
Full
starts
disclosure,
like
I don't know if it's as simple as adding a shader.
No, it's not.
I'm sure people worked very hard on those scenes.
It's definitely
Right,
not.
yeah.
But I can see like the executive asking for it.
Right. Because this is
Yeah,
very
like,
much
this
this
is-
is a movie from a different time. Yeah. Go ahead, Rosa.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Oh, about Paws of Fury?
You looked like you were trying to say
Yeah.
something there. Yeah.
I'm glad that Ricky Gervais gets to work on another not so good movie. I think it really is fitting of a person of his quality.
What was the last like movie he was in? What was the last like cartoon kids movie he was in?
He was in the Willoughbys, but the Willoughbys was pretty okay.
Was he in that
I don't
movie?
know.
He like voiced the cat or something, like that narrated.
He was the dog
Oh,
in Spy Kids
yeah.
4 all the time in the
I don't
world.
remember-
Oh my
don't
god,
remember
was
the
that the
That wasn't
skeleton?
recent, but yes, he was in that.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know. I don't remember the cat having the voice. It was so static and fuzzy.
Are you implying you watched like a Pibby version of the movie where the cat was glitching out and nobody commented on it?
Yeah.
All right, you know,
Oh great, I've been pibbied.
can't wait for that
It's
scene.
like,
I guess that did happen in between. Was that before the last podcast? What was the last one
No,
we did?
that was the last one we did was
Oh, that was literally
it
the
was-
night after we did it. Like right after we
Right,
finished,
yeah.
like that happened. Yeah. Pibby broke Adult Swim. Good job, Pibby. I want to watch a normal Rick and Morty. Yeah, that happened. That was
Rick and Morty.
that was a neat. Adult Swim always does fun April Fool's things, so that was a pretty cool one, I think.
Yeah. I can't wait for Pibby and Pibby moments. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Can't wait for
Um,
Pibby to get in multiverses. Rain Dog's gonna be the key to saving that show. Pibby's gonna be like surrounded by the static, like, this is it, Darwin from Gumball. And then Rain Dog will fly through the portal in the sky and save them.
And he'll say much well. I'm sorry. Whenever I think of some Rain Dog kind of reminds me. I forgot what video game this is. Does anyone remember in this call, in this chat, does anyone remember that it was like this video game that had like the Doge meme as like a character or like as like a summon?
No,
it was
no,
like some
no.
kind of
Deep,
MOBA game.
Deep, I know what you're
Meme
talking.
Run?
Deep.
Or
It was called The Last of Us 2.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was some like League of Legends clone or something, or like Fortnite kind of game. And it was like, "Wow, you're so cute, Doge." And then he says, "Much well."
Okay, I know what you're talking about. I remember this. I don't know what it was
Yeah.
though. This is real though. I remember this.
I think about it so much. I think about that a lot. I don't know why. That's what I imagine Rain Dog should sound like.
That's Overwatch 2.
Okay, that was. Oh, that's right. That's Overwatch 2. They're gonna announce Doge's return to Overwatch when they get in some like hot water about their workplace.
yeah, I haven't been in the loop about Blizzard and all its developments as a company, but man, I am excited for Overwatch 2.
Woo!
Sequel?
Oh,
Ryan
I don't-
Mackey
I don't
at the
care
end of
about,
Overwatch
uh,
1 said sequel?
Hashtag Overwatch 2 sweet.
I can't wait for
Yes.
Overwatch credits when baby Winston crawls across the screen, then takes his bib out and goes, "Whoop."
Yes.
The jokes
Um,
everyone comes here for. Simpsons Maggie equal joke.
That you stole from Rosa.
Yeah. Oh, they really fucked up there. Hello everyone, I'll see you in Blazing Sables. I make a cameo in the background. Winston,
I thought that was Zavik. Can we put Zavik?
Yeah,
sleep on the
hold on,
screen?
let me put
I
Zavik.
really want people to see that. I guess that'll be a good. Yeah, that'll be a good like. We could talk about Morbius a little because that
Yeah.
finally came out. I mean, man, it's crazy. We're living in a world where Morbius is finally in theaters and in our hands.
yeah.
I can't believe it.
How are we feeling? Like here, let's do like a press junket. So Jared Leto, how does it feel to finally bring Morbius to the big screen where it belongs? I mean, how did you get in character for this beloved Spider-Man icon?
You know, the Morbius is a really important character to the fans. I don't know what Jared Leto sounds like.
British.
Is he British? I didn't know he was British.
I see. I don't know what he is. You see? Oh, let me.
He sounds like I play Morbius.
Oh, let me do the one guy from Channel Oscar who plays the Joker every time.
Yes.
Yeah, you know, the fans, they really love Morbius, you see. I tried to do my best job. I read all the comics, and I played as him in Lego. You see, I really got to know the character. I was excited to play him in the movie. and it was great.
We
It's
did
what-
not make up Get Them Fries. He'll be mad at us. Get them fries, you know.
I
So
love.
who here has seen Morbius? Am I the only one?
No, you did not see Morbius. Shut the hell up.
What the heck? I saw Morbius too. I love when Morbius was on screen and he was like, "Wow, I want to suck your blood," like Adam Sandler from Pennsylvania Hotel 4, Transformania.
Yes. I can't believe they snuck in a ninja cameo. That was definitely worth the reshoots.
Oh yeah, yeah. When they
He's ninja,
redesigned
too.
Morbius because he had a bad reception from fans. I didn't
Yeah.
like the initial design. Too much
I know.
fangs on Morbius.
I'm glad they delayed
Too
it and gave it
scary.
the proper time. They gave Morbius the proper time in the oven that it needed to become the most morbid movie of all time.
They fixed Morbius, guys. They did it.
He's gonna be a separate character in
Live on
Morbius
screen,
cart.
They took him to the vet and fixed him.
Yeah, they got him all morbed up.
I like
Ready to go.
the imagery of Jared Leto in a little dog cage being took to the vet to be fixed. I can't wait for fixed Morbius to be in Marvel Cart as a separate character from regular Morbius.
Yeah. There's so many. I'm thinking about it right now. Cinema really is back on the menu. There's just so many great movies to be talking about. I mean, this is our movie. We can call this the movie episode, practically. I mean,
Yeah, I
like-
mean, we're gonna talk about Fairly Odd Parents.
yeah.
I literally like this chat comment. It's one of my new favorite word soups. Where are my manners? Fixed Rillaroo, meet fixed Morbius.
I gotta say, I laughed out loud when Jim Carrey said that in the actual Sonic movie. Like that's just, I just love that. Just where are my manners? It just made me think of all the stupid jokes we've made about that. It's just like a line.
No,
And we're all over the place today. I feel.
yeah, let's derail it. There's two more there's like the two major topics left. Let's talk about Fairly Odd Parents first, because only two of us watched more than one episode.
I'm really
None of them
upset
are
with you,
named
Ryan.
Rosa.
I'm really upset with you, Ryan. I gave
What?
you so much time. I've told you to what? We've this is dark. This is going to be the Fairly Odd Parents, Fairly Odder episodes, and I kept telling you about it. Okay, we're gonna be talking about Fairly Odder, so like make sure you have something to say.
I've been really busy this week. I've had college assignments to work on and art to do.
You were asking me what's some good things to put on the background, and I generously suggested Butch Hartman's latest thing that he's involved with. I don't know what to call it. I guess it's a TV show.
What do you
Yeah.
mean? What do you mean it might be a TV? What else could it be?
I don't know. You can watch it on your phone and stuff. It's the streaming age. It's different.
Everything's changed.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I'll start by giving my opinion on Fairly Odd. Me and Rosa can start because we both only watched one episode, and then you two can talk more in depth about it. So I watched the first episode. I watched it.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah.
I saw it when I was in undisclosed location.
I
Let me add, the only reason you two have seen it is because I like physically forced you to.
you did. You
I
had to
didn't
call.
have to, but I did anyway.
When we finished, we like watched a movie, and then you like we were doing like an activity together, like in a group, and then you just turned it on and made us watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just came in because I knew that this was the only like window I had. I knew this was the only way that you were gonna see like even a second of this TV show.
Okay, Lou's.
You just don't care about the
Lou is
integrity.
in chat chanting for Roy. I hate Roy. I hate Roy. Why does he have Fairly Odd Parents? He's perfectly fine.
Jorgen
'cause he
explains
saw
it.
them. Yeah.
Jorgen thinks it would be funny if Roy also shaved the fairy godparents.
Was that his reason?
Yeah, that's the driving force of the show.
Right.
I remember him going, "I'm gaming."
I'm playing Unicorn Smash 5.
Yes.
Sure,
Talked
you
about
can
that last week.
you can give your fairies to Chloe. I don't know.
Yeah. Fairly Odd really evolved the characters. Jorgen's a gamer now. You know how it is.
Timmy is like a serial murderer. That's why his eyes are always so wide open.
Oh.
I
So-
Chloe get a say in this? Like, did she forget? Did she use her fairies? Did she like reveal them and then Timmy got to keep them?
Ryan, come on. You got to stay up to date with the Fairly Odd Parents timeline, which I will now illustrate. Okay,
Yes.
so everything, so you get seasons 1 through 8, it's the prime timeline, but then Timmy's secret wish happens, and it splits the timeline.
The 50-year
so
one?
You either, what?
The one where he wishes like for time to freeze for 50 years?
Yes, Timmy
Okay.
wishes, so in the timeline where Timmy wishes that 50 years, everything freezes for 50 years, you have, I initially thought that there's a Sparky timeline and a Chloe timeline because Sparky doesn't appear in the Chloe season, but Poof learns to speak in the Sparky season. So technically, Sparky is like taken care of off screen. He goes back to his home planet. So that's all
Taken
one
care of.
timeline. Now in the timeline where Timmy's secret wish doesn't happen, you either have you have channel chasers. That's a timeline, or Timmy keeps his fairies and wishes that he was Drake Bell, which is the live action movie.
I wish I was Drake Bell.
Yes, and you also have the timeline where which is Fairly Odd takes place in, where Timmy doesn't get Sparky and Chloe, and technically might not get Poof. However, there's a clip in the opening montage of Fairly Odd that has clips from Wishology, which is an episode Poof appears in. So either Poof is Wishology happened, but Poof was not there, or Poof is there, but is just never mentioned and is always off screen. So that's how the timeline goes.
Mm-hmm. Fairly Otter has literally, and this is gonna sound like me forcing this, Fairly Otter has the same timeline that Yokai Watch does in terms of just certain characters exist sometimes when they feel like it timelines.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's how it
I'm
works.
glad you're here.
Willing yourself in and out of existence.
I think Sparky exists when he needs to. He's a vital character.
I think I'm gonna say that Poof does exist in the Fairly Odd timeline. I think it's just they've already established that Poof is a character who can just go away for a while now.
Poof is
and
at
we're just
school.
yes.
Yeah.
He's at fairy school, so we're not going to animate him. That's fine. They don't even need to mention him. He's like independent now. Like fairy. By that point, I mean he's technically like 10 to 15 years old. So he could take care of himself.
But I have to ask, is Foop in it?
No, Foop is not in Fairly Odd.
What's the point?
I feel like he would appear before Poof appears.
I agree with that.
Yeah, honestly, I really see that because I feel like they like to pull out villains a lot. I think, didn't they do that? Like, isn't there a point where Foop appears more than Poof?
Yeah,
I feel like that already kind of happened.
Yeah, in season 10, where Poof is off screen at Spellementary School, presumably. In Chloe's introduction episode, you're introduced to Foop, but not Poof. And Foop has like a vendetta against Timmy Turner. I don't know how this happens. I consider, this is a spoiler for my Fairly Odd Parents video, but I consider season 7 onward to be like a not even like a separate timeline, but like you have to approach it differently than everything before that, because it's like the writing staff changes very drastically, so you get their interpretation of the characters and their running jokes, and those start to seep in. And there it is, there's that word again. I kind of look at it as like when a comic book writer takes on a new run, like this is someone else's run of the Fairly Odd Parents. And I feel like Fairly Odder is it is a full-on reboot. But it's like, what if you let the Henry Danger people make Fairly Odd Parents? And
so what you're saying is they're making Kino.
Of course. You know that's gonna slap. No, I think if we're actually gonna start talking about the show, instead of being like, I can't believe you made me watch this, I think the show it's fine. It's like it's not that great. Obviously you can tell that it's like doesn't have that big of a budget because there's
Yeah.
only like 5 or so sets, and the fairies are very absent from the show itself. Like they'll show up at the beginning, at the end, only for maybe like a dozen or so shots in every single episode. And you know,
what I really
we'll
like
talk about the
is-
animation a little bit more.
Right. One thing I like about it is that they'll literally have moments where Wanda's just like, "Okay, do you need anything else before Cosmo and I go away?" Like they just kind of disappear as just part of the that's just how
gameplay
it
feature.
works. Yeah, they're a bit deadbeat.
I'll say from the episode I watched, it's like this is not the worst thing I've seen. I mean, I'm sure it's the worst thing someone's seen ever, but it's like the same quality as most Nickelodeon sitcoms, but Cosmo and Wanda are there.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
You're always here, Timmy.
We're always here, Timmy. We love you. I wish I wasn't sad. And then she wishes they weren't sad, and then he leaves. It was so good one. I remember that joke.
Yeah. I've seen all the episodes myself,
Oh,
and I
okay.
pretty much I feel the same way as you, Nick. Like it's fine. Like
It's
got
on the you got to accept that it's a Nickelodeon sitcom first and a Fairly Odd Parents continuation later. Second.
But hold on, they
Right.
had some epic fan service. Chaz and Tad, classic characters, appear in the background of that girl's attic for some reason.
yeah, they were just
They're
all
playing
they
video
already
games.
Roy's family already had that poster in their
Can I go
attic.
on another tangent? If I'm allowed to.
Oh, sure,
Of course.
that's what this show's about.
Yes. Okay, so this one's about that Tad and Chad poster and basically how the animated stuff works in the world. So it's not really consistent whenever you see a character drawn in the Fairly Odd Parents style, which is not the Butch Hartman style. Like drawn like a character from like if they have a model sheet or stock image of a character like Vicky on a Wanna poster or something like that.
Right.
It's like a couple different things. Sometimes it is someone drawing the characters. Like Vicky says, "Oh, here's a picture that Mr. Crocker drew of himself," and it looks like the cartoon. Which that dude needs to get admitted into CalArts. He's got a really good skill. And but some other times it's used to represent the fairy magic. Like there's a bit where Cosmo poofs popcorn onto the ground, and then one of the human kids, picks it up, and it turns into like an actual kernel of popcorn.
Whoa.
Yeah. So, and then there's the scene. Spoilers for Fairly Odd Parents.
Shut your ears and go la 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 right for a few seconds.
Yeah. So, in the final, so Crocker is transported to Fairy World using a rig that was probably only made for one scene, which is why it probably doesn't look very good. And when he goes through, his body becomes animated, and he literally says, "Oh, I'm being animated now." So yeah, it's either the characters draw the fairy characters, or the characters draw the 2D artwork, or fairy magic is representative of the 2D artwork, but it's not very clear.
Did they get Crocker's actor from the live action movies back?
No, they got his voice actor.
Oh, that's okay. That's good too.
I actually thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I can get an image. Like he like fits the role pretty well. I mean, because he's been playing it really long.
Yeah, there's a lot of like later seasons Crocker energy in that performance, I feel, because Crocker later Fairly Odd Parents Crocker is a main character. Sometimes he will not even like appear just to track down Timmy's fairies. Sometimes he's like, "Hey guys, what's up? Can I join?" and like crack some funny jokes. And everyone's like, "Yeah, sure, come on, Crocker. You're part of the gang."
He's like,
and so family.
Yeah, because we're family.
It's like
and the best part about family is we're not just talking about family. Yeah, you know always there. I'm sorry, I misquoted Us Against the Universe.
It's like if Ice King like became part of the main group, but there was like no pathos to it. Crocker just starts hanging out with Ice King just started hanging out with Finn and Jake with like no extended reason for it.
Yeah.
The how Crocker evolves is basically reverse Ice King. Instead of getting more pathos, he just gets less. He just becomes one of the guys.
It's like, what
Yeah.
are the rules?
Oh,
What are the
so does Timmy's dad. You know, he gets to hang out with the gang too. And
Yeah.
what's that?
Not
Aaron?
very
Yeah.
What's
Later
the?
Fairly Odd Parents is all my favorite characters. Cosmo, Timmy's dad, and Mr. Crocker. That's the whole cast of the show. You don't need anyone else.
I love that image. It's like the like 6 characters they have left on the show, pointing at that like rodent like dressed like a rapper. I think about it all the
Yes.
time.
We need to get that. I'm gonna get that.
I,
Hold on.
I
Is Cosmo still misogynist?
Later on,
Oh.
actually, for
That's a
Wanda
good
and
thing
Cosmo
to
have a
touch on.
really good. Wanda and Cosmo have like a really supportive relationship. This is like the
Yeah.
one thing Rose. Oh my god, Rose. Oh my god.
I can't believe they brought back like they need to, I think they need to go all the way. They, like if this, new show, they just need to bring back full on wife guy Cosmo.
Yeah. Bring back the misogyny. Bring back the racism and sexism.
No.
Those were crucial parts.
It was I always forget like sometimes like that show was kind of like actually pretty badly racist sometimes.
I got some comments recently on my Fairly Odd Parents video that's like, dude, you're just virtue signaling. You have to prove to yourself that you're a good person by pointing out all these things that the show did wrong. But I gotta be honest, in some of those comments, I feel like they have not revisited the show in a good long while because the Cosmo hating his wife is a crucial part of the Fairly Odd Parents lore, especially as you go through those later seasons. And
Right.
it's hard to avoid some of the stuff that did not age well. Obviously, the people behind the show, they probably this was like 15, 20 years ago, so I don't blame them. It was a different time. It was the style at the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
No,
But it's definitely it's really hard to avoid nowadays.
Cosmo does not respect his queen like Mr. Neutron does.
Yeah.
Sugar
Yeah.
booger.
But yeah, that was something that they do feel more like a unit. You kind of mentioned that in your video where they started out as kind of like the two halves of a whole idiot sort of thing. And I think Wanda has more. I guess it might be a thing that's just because like they're the cartoon characters in this live action sitcom, so it sort of makes sense to have them be sort of wackier than everything else. But yeah, that was something that I liked. I like that we weren't like every scene with Wanda wasn't her like nagging and complaining about something.
Ag.
Yeah.
Let's all do the nag.
I had that episode like on DVD, so I like have that like scene like stoned in like my memory when he goes, "You nag it to the left, you nag it to the right." I had like that one and like the episode where like Timmy drinks a bunch of lemonade and needs to pee for the entire episode, like on DVD.
Yes, the Timmy piss subplot.
But I forgot how much that stressed me out until you mentioned it. Oh my gosh, I have the picture of the porcupine.
Oh, do
Okay,
you?
I got
Please let me put this on screen. I need to put
Okay.
this on screen.
Oh, the rapper, the porcupine character from he's from Redondo Beach, California.
I feel like this image is just the most modern Fairly Odd Parents thing ever.
This
Yeah,
is like
you
one of
got,
their
like,
like
the
end of
fa-
episode gags where they in front of a black screen they have to make the one last gag at the end of the episode, and it's got all of my favorite characters.
Yeah, Cosmo Wanda in plain sight next to Crocker.
Yeah, this is so funny because I when I saw this episode on my rewatch, I was like, are they making fun of Sparky? Because it feels like they're making fun of Sparky.
Sparky's dead.
What place are they in to make fun of Sparky in the Chloe
Yeah.
season?
I gotta say though,
this is one of the Flash animated episodes too. So
I'll say
Yeah.
maybe my nuclear take. I think Chloe's less worse than the dog. I'll say like bare minimum, you could say Chloe added something to like the show's dynamic to change it. The dog is just Cosmo too.
yes,
I think that's why they
Chloe's
kind of.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Steve.
Oh, I was just gonna say I think that's why they kind of repeat the gimmick of Chloe in this, where it's like two kids have to share the fairies.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Um,
I think Chloe actually switched the dynamic of Fairly Odd Parents more than like Poof or Sparky did, which is why, in terms of like actual having an actual character, I think she was the best. But the quality of the writing is something else. But I do like how in the new season, Fairly Odder, the new season, that rule of that the God Kids have to they have to switch like on rotation between the wishes. I like how that's the driving force instead of here's a brand new wish in the rule book that we made up for the episode.
Right.
Sorry,
Yeah.
sport.
Because there's some good moments where it's like, oh, I want to make a wish, but like it's not my turn, or like Roy's purposely withholding like making a wish.
I think it's a little more predictable that way, but in terms of like having like solid storytelling rules, I think it works a little bit better. Not saying that it's better than the original series, but it's better than what they did with Chloe, which is sometimes they'd like split up Cosmo and Wanda, or sometimes they just I don't know. Timmy just had to like go next door to Chloe sometimes, and she was like, I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, moving on.
So
Yes.
a few more things about Fairly Odd before we move on to something else.
Who's saying we're so ready to move on?
Yeah,
There's
yeah,
a
we
whole
have
season
lots
of
to say.
television.
I don't know. I
episodes
don't
dropped in one
know. I
day.
just wanted to ask. So Vicky's in the show as like a teacher, right? I've heard she has like a
Right.
thing for Crocker in this.
Yeah. It's not. I wouldn't call it like a rom. It's like very one-sided.
Okay.
She's just kind of obsessed with, I guess how evil he is. Because I guess the story behind that, like she discovers his secret. He has like a secret fairy lair where he has this conspiracy board. She discovers that and sort of takes on his mission to discover the fairies. Yeah. Yeah, I think it was kind of, I think it kind of works for Vicky, I guess.
I also think it works for Vickery. I think her going from a babysitter to a teacher, a place where she can make even more children's lives miserable. I think that makes a lot more makes sense for her character, especially if we're doing a time and this is Timmy's going off to college, so it's presumably 8 years later. But I do think in regards to her being infatuated with Crocker, I think her finding her Crocker, basically the Crocker cave from the old show, and thinking, hey, all that stuff, that weird stuff that happened to me when I was a babysitter, maybe it's connected to fairies. I think that's a really, really good idea of how to add something new to Vicky. And I think this actress does a way better job than the one in the live action movies, who just kind of screamed everything and wasn't even on screen for that long. But I think you do have to kind of overlook the age gap, because technically, based on one of the Easter eggs in the background, Crocker is still born in like 1963.
Oh my god!
Because the secret origin of Denzel Crocker kind of canonized that it's like the early 70s when Crocker loses his fairies, and there's a 1973 calendar on the conspiracy board in the Crocker cave. So that's a big age difference, even if Vicky is like in her mid-20s.
I think Crocker should have been born like 6 years later.
Wait.
What?
So wait, when was he born?
1963.
Is this
Secret
a
God damn it.
69 joke? Is that a 69?
I had to glue it together in my mind. I think it's interesting. Fairly Odd Parents does not have the floating timeline that The Simpsons does. Crocker has to be born at that time.
Yeah, well, or maybe it's a sort of like, time freezes. What is the Simpsons theory where like they go to high school in the 70s and then time freezes, and then I'm sorry.
Think
I'm trying to like think of.
they don't go to high school in the 70s. They have a 70s themed prom.
Okay, all right.
That's funny.
So maybe he just had a 60s themed birth. I don't know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. That secret origin of Denzel Crocker, that was just happened on a 60s themed day.
Yeah, I mean, it's something I'm willing to like.
I like this image, Rosa.
Of what?
Sorry, Rosa said a really wonderful image. I'm gonna put it on.
Oh,
This is a
Yeah.
very Butch Hartman drawing. You really captured the Butch Hartman style.
yeah, it's the Willy Wombat
The
design.
Willy
Oh, no, I
Wombat.
just transformed
But yeah, what did you think of Vicky's probably her most recurring running joke in this show, that she has secret farts.
Oh yeah, you step
up,
on
shut
Vicky
up,
and
shut
she farts.
Yeah,
Are you
there's
This is
kidding
a
always
very
like
fart heavy episode.
By
'Cause
this-
there's 2 more in the
Oh
Sonic
my
movie.
god!
oh yeah. Whenever Vicky goes like in another room, she's like, I'm gonna go fart over here, or like another character says, Are you gonna fart? She's like, No, and then you hear a little fart sound.
It was great.
I don't know why. I don't know why
really
they.
evolved the character.
It's funny that it's specifically honed in on Vicky. I don't think any other character farts as much as she does. I don't know what's going on there. I don't think we need to dissect that any further.
I'm kind of just processing, to be frank, like what you just told me, like about this running gag about Vicky farting.
Let's
Yeah.
not talk about it anymore.
I like how this has become less of a discussion and more of a Q&A where Ryan asks, so is the show really like that?
I don't.
Right.
I'm fascinated by it.
Yeah, the show can get a little norsty sometimes. I guess that's just. I feel like a lot of Nick sitcoms just kind of have some jokes that are like. And I was just like, that's kind of weird. That might just be like the fact that like doing like cartoon gross out humor on like live action characters just feels different. Like there is like a joke, they kind of drop it later on, where like there's this girl who has a crush on Roy. But in like the first few episodes, they really like focus on the fact that she's specifically attracted to his scent.
Oh!
Just kind of like, I don't know, it was a little weird. She like sings a song about how she likes to sniff him. It was just like all right. It was a very Nickelodeon sitcom moment. Like I very much felt what I was watching. I felt the looming cloud
of
This is a
iCarly.
really great comment where someone said, Seepa's either watched entirely too much Fairly Odd Parents or is the best liar on the planet, and both are equally scary.
What? What are you talking about?
I guess to be fair,
It's just very abstract like that.
to be completely fair, there's a joke about his scent. It's just literally a joke like iCarly and Victorious would make.
Yes. Yeah.
Right. It's. I mean, aren't there? There's probably a lot of DNA, right? There's no way that.
Oh, of course,
no,
yeah. If you go back to like some of the credits for these writers who were showrunners on both Fairly Odder and the Henry Danger shows, they started as like iCarly, Victorious. So yeah.
Well, how's this show gonna fit into the NCU? When's Gibby gonna show up in an episode? And he's gonna see Cosmo and Wanda out in the open.
I mean, so I guess just because it has those shared writers, there are just a lot of things that just remind you of other Nick sitcoms. Like a specific thing I noticed, they say the word chiz a lot, which you might remember from, I think on iCarly they said that a lot. And they say it here too. It kind of threw me off because it's like, oh, like I don't know. Like I thought I was in Dimsdale, but suddenly I'm in Seattle with Carly and Sam.
You know, Rosa, you're the expert on Victorious. They say chiz in Victorious too.
They murdered a person.
I think they murdered more than one person in Victorious. I'm gonna be honest.
They might have murdered several people in Victorious. They had a body count in that show.
They should have murdered Robbie.
Why Robbie?
He had
Not
it
Rex?
coming.
Yeah, well, hold on. Why not Rex?
Because if Robbie dies, then Rex can die.
I guess that's true. You know, it's a necessary evil, I suppose.
Because Robbie, like, Lars is someone to convince Rex is not dead. Rex will stay alive.
So,
That's
so
true.
Rex is kind of kept alive by the hopes and dreams of Robbie. He's kind of like Hobbs in a way from Calvin and Hobbes. It's kind of beautiful, actually.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say Undertale, but no.
I would have said like Forgo Rex.
Forgo
Sorry, that's a Kirby joke for y'all.
The thing
Um,
is, in order to make sure Rex is completely dead, You have to make sure anyone who ever comes in contact with him cease to exist.
I'm kind of picturing this like horrific like adult take on the Victorious, where like Robbie is missing for the whole show and so is Rex, and they kind of wonder where he is. And like in the finale, they find him in an attic, and he's like kind of dried up and like bone skin. And you see like Rex is on his hands, so like he's been absorbing his power this entire time.
That's just a
Right.
plot to Chucky.
Anyway, Fairly Odd Parents, everyone.
Yeah.
What'd you, Mr. Nintendo? What did you think of some of the side characters they added?
Oh
Hold on,
man,
hold on.
dude, I love Sergeant Splits, the guy who has one gag, or the news reporter who has one gag. She is very serious. Stoneface Susan, I think.
It's just
I'm-
something like that.
Yeah, I think they kind of misread the show. Because if you look at some of the episodes where it's like, wow, Dimsdale is so weird. They have all these weird events and festivals, and I'm an outsider. I'm Viv. I don't get Dimsdale. I think they kind of forgot that Dimsdale has the word dim in it, and it's supposed to be dull and boring, and the fairy magic is supposed to be what makes everything weird. That's like the impetus of Mr. Crocker's character, because his life is so monotonous, but then the fairies that's that episode where he realizes that Timmy might have fairies, kind of he shifts into overdrive. He becomes the Mr. Crocker we all know and love.
Right.
I fluttered.
I think I was kind of amused by how how like weirdly one note some of the side characters were. Like it was funny in a way where it's like how did this like one of the characters is the mayor, who's not the same
Right.
mayor from Dimsdale of
Yeah.
past, but the mayor in this show is a baby being carried by a man who translates what the baby says. It's specifically not the man. The man is not the mayor. It's the baby. And the man
Okay.
is just there to translate the baby. And the baby is like it's like a clearly fake doll whose face you never see. He just has him in like a jumper, like one of those like things you like wear. I don't know what they're called. Is that what a jumper is? I don't know. But yeah, there's just such a weird like. How did they come to that kind of joke? I kind of that was kind of amusing to me.
Mhm. Yeah, it's weird that they made these jokes about I'm sorry, I'm just feeling I feel like y'all didn't talk about Roy enough. We'll get to Roy. Roy is
Right.
our boy. There's Roy's boys, very important characters. But I think that shoot, what was I gonna say? See, what was I talking about? What
Talking
were
about
you
Baby
talking about?
Mare.
Baby Mare.
We're talking about the side characters. Yeah.
Yeah, the side characters. In that way, they like didn't. They kind of misread parts of the old show, but there's other parts where they assumed things, or like some elements of the production design. Like there's like one episode where they show a map, and there's things like the trailer park where Chester lives that are listed on there, and they didn't have to do that. They went out of their way to have like small references like that.
Look for the
And
fans.
there's also things like in the intro, there's an animated section. The background's animated, and you can see palm trees and a volcano in the background. And Dimsdale is technically in California, but you never saw anything identifiably California, except for like I
Right.
guess the episode where they went to Hollywood, it was just convenient to go to Hollywood. But they have palm trees in the poorly rendered previs CGI background. It's supposed to be the
Yeah.
establishment shots. And the volcano was in maybe like a season 7 episode. So those things are in the show. So they skimmed some wikis. They did a little
Yeah.
research.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see William Shakespeare as he was depicted in the cartoon. Remember
Yes,
that?
I know. I noticed. Were you the one who tweeted out that they used the default
Yeah.
wiki image? I looked it up. He has a model sheet like generic pose they could have used, but no,
Yeah.
they used the one that was the same one on the Fairly Odd Parents
This is-
wiki.
Literally,
Yeah, it's like a
I
low quality screen grab where it's like poorly cropped out.
I love to like listen hearing about stuff like that where like they didn't it's like they didn't give like the people working on the show all the assets they would need, so they just go to Google, and that's how you end up with like Sonya the Hedgehog and Sonic and Sega All Stars Racing.
Oh my god.
Right. It was definitely someone like working on like the graphic design of the show who was like, oh, like has Shakespeare been on Fairly Odd Parents? And they like looked it up. Like, oh yeah, I should put that image on there.
Yeah. This has been pointed out online, but there's an episode where they do a Godzilla homage where they have a giant cod monster stomp around a cardboard building, and I will give them credit. That is the one thing that works better in live action than animation, because you can do like a human in a Godzilla suit stomping around. But people have pointed out online that they they use like a generic Godzilla suit you can get at like Party City or Amazon or something,
Yeah.
but they didn't inflate it. But yeah, I did like that. I did like that that's where they went with that reference. I didn't like how they had to point out what the specific joke and reference is so the kids will understand. They do the same when they have a dance battle in an episode that's kind of like the Father Time episode where Timmy goes back in time and ruins his parents' marriage, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like
that
there was a show I watched semi-recently that had that same problem where they'll make a reference and then like point it out to the audience. It's not Family Guy because for some reason I think it's really funny when Peter goes, "See, that was a reference to The Godfather."
yeah. Speaking of that episode that where they go back in time, that was I had like a frustrated like internet cartoon reviewer moment where I like screamed at the TV and like cursed the writers. The plot of that episode is so they want Viv and Roy want to go, or is it just Viv? I don't know. The kids want to go to a school dance, but the parents won't let them. And they find out it's because their parents had like a bad breakup during a school dance. So they go back in time to put them back to prevent them from breaking up. But like the plot of that episode hinges on the fact that they conveniently forget that they're step siblings. So if they prevent their parents from breaking up like before they were born, then that would prevent them from existing. I don't know. It was just such a weird. It's such a weird. Like I get that you're supposed to like have their wishes backfire on them. But it was just like a weird. Do you know what I'm talking about, Nick? You know what I'm talking about? Do you relate to me here?
I actually disagree because they kind of explain it because they're trying to get their parents to have a very specific relationship where they break up but get back together years later because they were formerly high school sweethearts that decided to get back together on a whim years later. So I think they kind of explain it. But it is like a very convoluted premise because they're trying to do the Back to the Future thing.
Right. I guess it's kind of interesting where it's like it's a subversion where like instead of accidentally having the parents break
Subversive
up.
masterpiece. There you go.
Yeah. Usually it's like, oh, we broke our parents up, so now we won't be born. But it's like, oh no, we brought our parents together, and now we won't be born. I don't know. I'm just kind of rambling here. That was just something I wrote down. That episode also had a South Park reference.
It did.
And a joke that I saw in Family Guy years ago.
Really?
Yeah, the joke, there's a reference to I think Ice Ice Baby where Viv says, "Everybody stop," and then everyone in the crowd says, "Collaborate and listen," that's a joke that happened on Family Guy.
Oh, okay.
I can't believe it. Stole from
Yeah, I
Peter.
can't believe they stooped so low.
They stoop so low, they stole from Family Guy. The worst
Crap.
show ever!
I hate Peter.
Dude,
Oh my
Arlo
God.
hates Family Guy so much. Isn't that right, Arlo?
Arlo.
No, we can't put words into his mouth. I
It's
don't.
the worst show ever made. I will make a 1-hour rant video.
No.
Arlo's a lot calmer than usual.
Yeah, I gotta kind of dial it back. I think this is some.
I get it.
I guess this is a segue. I should mention this here before I forget again. Somehow I neglected, even though last week we had like a 3-hour Kirby episode. I forgot to mention this. This has nothing to do with Fairly Odd Parents right now.
Oh, then stop talking about it.
This is some Arlo news. For anyone who didn't realize, in case there's a single soul who didn't know, like 2 weeks ago, I made an Arlo video. I got to make an Arlo video. I'm dead serious. If you go on his channel, it's called Hey Kirby. It was like he wrote a rap parody and he got like someone to do the music for it. And he just sent out this like tweet saying like, oh, anyone who like, are there any like fans of Kirby who are experienced in video editing? So I just kind of jumped on that, and I got to like make like all the visuals for that. So this is just our. I guess I'm gonna put like the flag in the dirt here and say like we are officially 1 degree removed from Arlo. Like I could technically ask Arlo a question right now, and he could probably answer it. But I'm not gonna do that because I don't want to pester him because we're not like buddies or anything. We currently have a good working relationship. I just want to make that very clear.
Can I ask water? Can I ask Arlo to dip him in water?
Like pick him up and. I see. Here's the thing about this joke about Arlo fully submerged in water. Like, I understand what you're going for. Like, there's a funny visual like puppets floating around in water, like see like their bodies kind of like float around. But every time you make the joke, it makes it sound like you want to drown him.
You're gonna try to drown Arlo.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wanted to mention that. I meant to mention it last week, but somehow forgot. So we are in like, I don't know what would you call that. We're in the danger zone. I guess.
Henry Danger's Force.
The danger force zone.
Yeah, we're in proximity. We're in proximity of Arlo.
Close proximity.
He's
yes.
like in our. He's kind of in our sphere or just outside of it. So that's just. I guess that's just a warning for us. So. Don't screw anything up for us, please. We might have him on sometime. I don't know. We're closer than we ever have been. Is what I'm gonna say. But anyway, back to
Whoever this guy is on our show right now.
What do you mean by unmarried?
unmarried.
All right, guys, we're gonna have to talk about Roy from the Fear of the
Yes.
House.
Roy. Speaking of Roy,
It's kind of weird that like Roy died in like the first few minutes. He just fell down and just stopped moving.
No one really comments on it, but his body's there for the
Yeah.
rest of the show.
and Viv
It's
never
kinda
like wishes
fucked
for
up.
him. Viv never wishes for him to come back to life.
No, they couldn't because he was dead.
Speaking of Roy, I just noticed, Nintendo, that your picture on Discord right now is Roy's depiction, his like 2D style version.
Yeah, let me.
I don't know if you want to like upload that.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
got it.
I want everyone to see that. No,
So
that's
there's
what like the drawing of Roy is.
Yeah, there's an episode where they have an election style episode, which is also in the original series. They ripped them off.
Oh my god.
No! How dare they have an election episode?
You can't have more than one of those.
There can only be one.
Cosmo
But
already did
anyway.
it.
Yeah, on the there's like a little poster advertising that Roy's in the running, and it's got this beautiful edited image of Timmy's face on Mr. Turner's body, but they changed the hair, I guess, a little bit. There's also a character called Nate Bucksaplenty who is related to Remy Bucksaplenty from the original series somehow.
Oh my god, they care.
I actually liked him. I thought he was pretty funny.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah. He's just a guy who talks in this snooty accent, and he has a lot of money,
Yeah.
and he bribes people. And I
I
think
like how he wasn't an exact like replica of just Remy Bucksaplenty.
Remy is interesting because he has fairies or he's associated with fairies. But if you just like take that away from him, he's just a rich jerk, and that's still pretty funny.
Right.
But what was I gonna say with Roy? I a lot of people have like called him annoying. He didn't really get on my nerves that much, but he also didn't leave much of an impression. I feel like the main characters are some of the least interesting characters on the show.
Yeah, I think watching the first episode and like the initial trailer, I was kind of ready to really dislike Roy. Because in that first episode, he says like his like "Let's go" catchphrase
Let's
like 7 times.
go!
Mhm.
And he-
New
I think he-
sister! Sorry.
I think throughout like the rest of the episodes, he says it like twice, maybe.
He does it in the finale and like maybe one or two other times.
Right. So I actually think, I mean, his actor, that kid, is kind of overdoing it, but it's sort of in a way where
I think like otherwise he does a good job. There's a lot of like really talented actors that are not given the best material on that show.
I'm willing to also usually give like the benefit of doubt to like children actors, like they're kids.
Right.
Like
I mean,
Yeah.
that's the point I was gonna make. Like, he's kind of like he says things in a very like exaggerated tone, and he makes a lot of like crazy faces. But I kind of feel like that kind of made it feel like it does feel like a kid, how a kid would act, you know? Like, I've definitely known kids who sort of talk in that way and are like very over the top. So it's like, he was kind of cute. I kind of enjoyed my time with Roy. I think he was
Mhm.
fine. I don't have much bad things to say about him. I
I
liked his
liked how
boys.
he had an entourage, Roy's boys, which got
Yes.
like a very, very large amount of focus. They definitely did not feel like they fit the Fairly Odd Parents that much. Um, but I liked at the reveal at the final episode that they're all related.
that's funny.
Yeah. Yeah. There's just like, what, are they brothers? And Roy's like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Um, it's pretty funny.
Mhm.
I like that.
All
I
right.
like Roy's boys.
I hate,
That subplot in one episode where he's like, "Oh no, do my boys just like me because I'm Roy, but they don't really know anything about me?" That felt probably the most sitcom-y the show got.
Right.
I hate to speed the conversation up, but we probably still need to talk about the one other thing before we go on too long.
All right,
any
closing
final
thoughts
thoughts? Yeah.
on Fairly Otter. It is not the worst thing. It is not. There's been some YouTube videos that have been recommended by mine that say the Fairly Odd Parents reboot is terrible. It's bad, and I
The
gotta
Very
say,
Odd reboot ruined my marriage.
yeah. Actually, Seep, you go ahead while I try to find what these are called because they're all really similar and it's pretty funny.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a pretty standard Nickelodeon sitcom, which I mean, on a baseline quality level, great. But I mean, I'm also not really the target audience. I don't really have much terrible things to say about it. Um, the animation is kind of amusing sometimes, just with how bad it looks sometimes. But there's something like I like how one animation detail I like is whenever Cosmo and Wanda are in the fishbowl, it shows their reflections on the side. I thought that was just like a neat little effect.
Hmm. Yeah,
Uh,
they definitely did not have a lot of time and probably budget for the animation, considering that this came together like within a year from development to final product.
Uh-huh.
But there's some parts where I actually think the rig animation on Cosmo Wanda can be more expressive than season 10. And honestly, on the whole, Ryan, you kind of mentioned this before, but this is not the worst the Fairly Odd Parents has ever
No.
been. At least these are like original characters that is somewhat removed from the original series. The fact that, unlike the Drake Bell movies, this is not supposed to be the ultimate fate of Timmy Turner and all of these characters. It is additional, it's optional. It's trying to have its cake and eat it too with the inclusion of the old characters, and I don't really think it has its own identity or earns like in the final episode they're like, wow, we really became a family. And no, they didn't really become a family.
That's kind of what we said about SpongeBob the movie when we watched it. Like none of us like
you guys came me on just so I can say the same thing.
like none of us like super loved it, but we all kind of agreed like this franchise has had lower peaks than like the third movie.
Yeah.
right. Okay.
All right, so let's talk about what a lot of people came here for. Who here saw my sister's
wait,
college
wait,
production of the SpongeBob musical?
Is that real?
Yeah,
Yes.
I did see
Was that
that.
your sister?
Yeah, she played a bunch of background characters. She played like one of the nematoids who like followed Patrick around. She was one of Pearl's friends, and then she was also one of the pirates in Poor Pirates.
Oh, okay.
Was Andrew there?
My sister's boyfriend? Yes, he was.
Does he know about
Not the Andrew. Not we can't throw another Andrew into the mix right when we've introduced the other Andrew. Can we please keep it to one Andrew for now?
It's getting really confusing, guys.
What were you gonna say, Steve?
Yeah. I think there are a few other before we get to like our next big one. I think there's a few smaller things that I want to touch on.
Okay.
They're just little neat things. So there's some like blue sky news about Blue Sky Animation.
Oh yeah.
They released their final thing they worked on. Yes, Baby Scrat Adventures. I don't know what that's not what it's called, but yeah, maybe that's what it's called. I don't know. Baby Scrat Adventures came out, and I watched every episode. They're just like quick, like 4-minute shorts, and they're pretty fun. I actually really like them. I think they're some of the most. I think Blue Sky's always been solid with like visual stuff.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great slapstick. A surprising amount of like heart to it. Like it's not mushy or anything, but there are a few like heartwarming aspects of it. I like Baby Scrat. He's funny. They have kind of a like the dynamic of them is that they both want the acorn, so they're kind of fighting over it. And then Scrat's kind of like conflicted over like his love for his son, but also his love for his acorn, and he has to learn how to overcome his nut obsession to be a good father. And it's all conveyed without dialogue. It's just visuals, which I think was pretty neat.
Yeah.
Honestly, kind of a high note for Blue Sky to go
And
go out on.
they made
Like,
that ending where he finally gets the nut too.
right. They made it like a little animation of Scrat eating the acorn, which was really it was like weirdly like melancholy and kind of like sweet.
Yeah, it's like he like not a lot of noise in it. Like it's very quiet, and then he just kind of eats it, and then like after he eats it, I notice he like kind of starts acting like a normal squirrel. Like he like scratches himself briefly, and then he just kind of bounces off.
Yeah, he just kind of moves on. I think it's kind of sort of meant to it's sort of emblematic of like how Blue Sky they didn't really get to go out on their own terms or anything. They just kind of unceremoniously got shut down. So it's just kind of like life happens. They get to move on. They get to do this one last little thing on their own terms, and hopefully they can all find work. Life goes on. Yeah. However, there is one thing. An old project of theirs did get revived,
Yeah.
which is pretty cool news. We're getting the movie that Disney probably was never going to make. We have Nimona. It's coming to Netflix. It's by
I feel
it
so
was a
bad for
webcomic by
yeah, I feel so bad for forgetting your name because like a lot of like work.
Noelle
think it's-
Stevenson?
Noelle Stevenson's, yeah.
Yeah. Nimona is her webcomic.
Yeah. I think they changed their name to ND. So ND Stevenson.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. I've never read the webcomic, but there was a lot of uproar when like Disney said they were canceling that. Because it was gonna be a mainstream animated movie with like
Gay
good
characters.
LGBT
Yeah.
representation. Yeah. But
It-
they
There's a few like I've seen like the debate like I've seen a few debates on like Disney's side about why they canceled it, but I don't know. I think it's suspicious that like they got Blue Sky and were perfectly willing to finish some Ice Age stuff, but wouldn't finish the movie with gay people. And I can't help but think it's a bit suspicious, and I Disney's also not done a lot to earn my favor in terms of that kind of stuff recently. So
It's really funny. This is gonna be a very Nick thing to bring up, but the last Disney thing that Noah Stevenson was involved in that was also unceremoniously canceled was that she was a staff writer on the second season of Wander Over Yonder.
oh my god.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Keeps getting on projects Disney kills.
Yeah, they just kill on her projects. I will say,
my God.
kudos to her. Obviously, this probably takes a lot of work and struggle behind the scenes, but she got to have She-Ra seemed to end on her own terms, the way she wanted it to. At least with the kiss at the end. And this Nimona project is probably getting to happen. So I think that's great. Good for them. Hopefully, I mean, obviously, there's a lot of struggle behind the scenes, but and tons of other people involved. But I'm glad that they're getting a win. Keep getting wins.
Yeah. All right.
Anything else?
Aside from that, I did have there was a new Bob's Burgers movie trailer.
Oh
I
my
know it's a
God.
movie we talked about a lot.
Oh.
I don't think we have anything much more to say about that,
Totally.
except
Uh-huh.
this is breaking news.
Uh-huh.
They showed they did a sneak peek of like the first 6 minutes of the movie
Oh, did they? I didn't see that.
at Anaheim WonderCon. I don't think they've like released it publicly.
Uh-huh.
But I was actually able to see it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I saw it was basically just like the 20th century logo and then like the opening scene and the opening like musical number.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they haven't shown any like the songs for this movie yet, I'm pretty sure. We know it's a musical.
That's something that I kind of like about its marketing. It feels like nostalgic in a way, where it's like they're not really revealing much about the plot. It feels very, I don't know.
I know what you mean. Yeah, they have not like talked about like what the actual story is a ton in the trailer.
Right, we just have sort of a vague idea. We just kind of have the hook of it, which I think is honestly like enough. Like we know like there's like a sinkhole in front of the restaurant and it's a problem they gotta fix and they go on an adventure. But yeah, the music, I don't think they've publicly like shown off any of it, but the first song in the movie was like really good. They're always pretty on top of like making music and all those like, what is the studio called? Like Bento Box? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Yeah. So in all their shows, I feel like they have good numbers like that, and they keep up.
There's a lot of great Duncanville musical numbers.
Oh, wait a minute!
They keep...
Duncanville new season's gonna have Ninja in it!
Yeah,
yes!
Ninja guest stars.
Oh my gosh! Thank God!
Ninja?
Thank God we did not drop the ball and mention that.
Pepe the Prawn's best friend from the Game Awards is gonna be in Duncanville!
Ninja just keeps collecting W's, as they say. He's just he's a star.
That's right. It's not Duncanville. It's Wville. Duncanville. No wait, Duncanville. Duncanville.
Yeah.
That's way better. No.
Yeah. You've disgraced Amy Poehler and Mark Scully.
My heroes. No.
Have any of you watched Green Eggs and Ham 2? I forgot that came out.
It came out?
I think it did.
She gave birth? Does she give birth? Don't tell me. Oh my gosh, don't tell me. No, I gotta look that up. Is that true? That can't be. If that's true, I'm like watching this right when this episode ends.
Wait, what, baby? I'm sorry, I watched Green Eggs and Ham season 1, but not 2.
Oh no, we don't have to talk about it. It came out April 8th.
Yeah.
What? It came out like 2 weeks ago.
The beautiful femnoid that guy I falls in love with is pregnant in season 2.
Yeah, that was his fault.
Oh.
Do you think he is the dad? Do you think he is?
I don't want to know. I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this.
Talk about what, Steve?
Well, I want to talk about how Bob's Burgers, the movie, has some great music, and I'm excited to see what else they have in store. And also, it keeps up the tradition of having like scarily well animated musical segments,
but not very expressive musical segments.
Right? Yes.
that is always something I noticed when I like would watch Central Park. Like the characters would move really like amazingly, but they like keep the same expression the entire time.
Yeah. I guess it's just kind of the...
Oh God, Rosa.
What?
Remember when he trapped Teddy like an animal and he starts moving so fluidly?
Yes. Yeah. I guess that's just kind of the style of those shows.
Yeah.
Like they don't really emote. It's very focused on like deadpan. But yeah, they do some real good bouncing around. I'm excited to see. There's some like mystery to it. There's like an opening shot where it does a like, I don't know what you call this, where it like flashes back to like a mysterious. Right. Oh, is that what that is, or is that when they flash forward and then they flash back? What I'm talking about,
it Forever Across the Second Dimension, where they show like the climax. Man, how do we get here?
No, I'm talking about when it's like 6 years like earlier at the very start, and it like
prelude.
Okay,
that's
So it has a little bit of that, but you don't really know what's going on. So it sort of insinuates that there's some like Bob's Burgers lore that they're gonna
Fun
expand
fact,
on later on.
my
Plus screen lore or the Boxburger Gachapon lore.
my
Yeah.
reference for
Sorry,
most
look,
media
it's
is
me.
Phineas and Forever Cross the second invention.
You know what? I think I just do that in real life. Like post, I like quote that thing where Doofus Schwartz is like, I mean, we could, we should.
Yeah.
You're the grumpy one.
Coming at
I
you
like-
Fridays. Right
like,
now,
what is
actually.
Oh, that's true. What does Phineas say? Like blah blah blah, 3-car garage.
Three-car garage, yeah.
Yeah, that's a great line.
I quote, up to your deluxe apartment in the sky. I know what it's a reference to, but it's a Phineas line that I think of first.
Oh,
All right.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we move on to the hedgehog?
Kingdom Hearts.
Oh fuck, that did happen, didn't it? When you walk away, you won't hear me say please. Yeah, that was announced like at 6 a.m. on like Thursday. Yeah, there's not much.
Sora's dead.
Sora's. I do think it's funny. Sora died and he came to our world. That's how it worked.
Do you want to know how dead he is?
I'm dead.
He does taxes now.
Oh
I was
shit.
gonna say everyone knew that Sora was like dead because any Kingdom Hearts fan or anyone who listens to Kingdom Hearts lore saw that girl at his door. It's like, oh wait, that's the dead one. And
How did he
only
die?
people who knew about the mobile game knew.
I have to say on the topic of Kingdom Hearts 4, you know, the scene with like Goofy and Donald, like the best graphics I've seen in a video game ever. I think
They're in hell.
the part where they're looking for Hades from Hercules.
I like how Sora was running like his normal self in real life.
Doing a little Naruto run in real life.
Yeah.
They have to get back to spring. Oh man. Okay, so here's the thing about Kingdom Hearts. I don't like the idea of Kingdom Hearts being like self-aware of how weird it is. So I want there to be a Simpsons world, and I want it to be played completely straight. Like I don't want any jokes. I don't want any winks to the audience about it. I have my pitch concept. Like
You just want the Homer skill tree to be real.
I know this, but you three are like Square and Disney like boarheads. Like, okay, hear me out on this. The Heartless come to Springfield and like they take over Homer and he like becomes a Heartless, and you have to team up with like Bart and Lisa. They're the party members in this world, and you go to Mr. Burns' like factory, and he's using Heartless Homer to power his factory and do evil things, and then Organization 13's there and they're helping Mr. Burns, and he's like, thanks for using your Heartless to help me power the factory.
What about Mo? Where's Mo?
When Mo's not on screen, the audience should be asking, where is Mo?
He becomes a summon.
Yeah, Mo's
Does
a
Sora get
summon.
the Simpsons overbite?
Yeah, he does, of course.
I'm just a 3D
Yellow
Simpsons
Sora.
Sora. Yes.
Goofy looks like how he does in Plusiversary, and the fans go, whoa! And he switches voice actors for that one world to be the
Yo,
guy.
the sweet Plusiversary reference.
Yes. James just sent a picture of what is this? Santa's Little Helper?
yeah, this is
with a
from
From the
Keyblade?
Simpsons game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they go to like an anime world?
Oddly
Yes,
prolific.
they do. They do go to an anime world.
Yeah, I'm just noticing like Lisa has Goku hair.
Oh, cool.
I like this pitch for a Simpsons Kingdom Hearts world.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Ryan.
I'm flattered. I've thought long and hard about it. Also, there's going to be a Milo Murphy world.
Oh, of course.
You know,
Okay.
I can't believe we talk
Gotta
about
get that
this
in
more
before
than, like,
Gravity Falls, before Phineas and Ferb. You gotta do Milo.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you saying, Rosa?
I can't believe we talk about this more than like the non-binary character from Madagascar.
You can't. No, you can't hold that against me forever. A Billy Bison Heartless?
Yes, I can.
Billy Bison. Oh, Nick, do you know about Billy Bison?
I only saw him mentioned in the chat for the server, and I saw it, and I'm like, oh man, I'm sure they talked about this for a good 5 minutes.
Oh, you know
I
it's so
want to
well.
explain this really quick. Billy Bison's one of my favorite Milo Murphy characters. There's an episode where they just all the characters randomly get like attacked by like packs of wild bison just out of nowhere, and it just keeps happening throughout the episode, with no explanation until like the very end, like it does like the "It's my world and we're all living in it" and cuts to black, and then it cuts back to this character who we've never seen before. It's from like a video camera perspective, like he's filming himself. He's going like, "Hey guys, it's me, Billy Bison. I'm really sorry about today's episode. I have this thing called Bison's Law or something. Whatever can go bison will go bison." And it just replays clips of the characters getting attacked by bison, but edits Billy Bison in the corner to show that he was the one responsible by mistake.
Oh man, Billy.
What season was this?
It's just definitely season 2.
Okay. Damn, I think I saw all of season 2, but I don't remember.
Really? You don't remember Billy Bison?
I remember
What do
Billy
you remember?
Bison.
Do you remember shoot, the tentacles? That's all I remember.
Tentacles? Or what?
The like the octopus guys.
Oh, the aliens that were completely different from the aliens in Kenneth Against the Universe? Yes, I do.
We need to talk about Sonic right now.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I know.
So
This is gonna be a
Quagmire. You need to talk about Sonic. Right
We're
now.
not bringing that joke back. We're not bringing Quagmire. You have to leave back. Okay, I'm gonna put I didn't make a special logo like I did for Kirby, but I'm gonna put Sonic spoilers on screen just in case. I feel like it's gonna be hard to like just split up like spoiler, not spoiler section because I'll mess up.
Really?
Yeah, we're just gonna talk about it. I'm just gonna put Sonic spoilers on screen.
I'm really,
Okay, so-
really happy with how the chat is very disappointed in me for not remembering Billy Bison.
Yeah,
Hey.
come on.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't remember a lot of that second season of Milo Murphy's Law. My takeaway was I want to rewatch Phineas and Ferb.
Oh.
That was most people's. To be frank.
You don't remember the romantic subplot between Zach and Melissa?
Oh yes, Rosalie put this on screen for you too.
No, I don't, Seep. I'm sorry.
And they kiss at the very end. Remember?
Oh yeah, that was built up super well.
Milo Lissa fans seething.
I can't stand my Melissa shippers. I'm sorry. Like as people, I can respect you, but like, so I guess before we go to let's. Are you sneezing?
No,
Oh,
she was
sorry.
excited about the image I put on screen.
Before we go too deep into spoilers, I guess we should just give general thoughts, just to give anyone who doesn't want to get spoiled a chance
Here,
to get the head.
let's go in order from least Sonic fan to biggest Sonic fan. So I'll go first, and then you three can argue about who goes next. So as the most casual Sonic fan here, I've played like 4 of the games. No, that's not true. I've played like all the classic ones and then 4 ones outside of that. I'm a pretty casual Sonic fan. I like the characters of Mr. the Hedgehog. I think it's got a cool world, and I like its fun characters. But I would ultimately say I'm just a casual fan. I thought the first one was good. No, let me remember. I thought the first one was...
Didn't. You hated that one. Hated that one.
I thought the first
Ryan.
one was pretty good. I thought it was pretty good.
What? No, you didn't. Ryan, you on the show, we have record of you saying that you enjoyed the Tom and Jerry movie more than the Sonic movie.
You're misconstruing my words. I said they're about the same quality.
No, you said you liked it more. You said you liked Tom and Jerry more. How is that going to sound to everyone?
I said I thought they were about the same quality, and I thought they were
How do you
both
think that sounds
pretty
to people? Does that
good.
sound you thought it was pretty good? You hated it.
No,
Just say,
no.
I know you're afraid to tread. I know it's
Oh
pretty,
my
it's
God.
contentious to say you don't like Sonic.
You're making things. I thought the first one was pretty all right.
Okay, pretty all right. There, I'll accept that.
And I would say why I thought the first one was pretty all right. I thought this one was a solid good.
Yeah, okay.
That's my general thoughts. Okay, you guys can go now. Go. Yeah, talk about it. You go.
I'm gonna
I
throw
feel like-
Antenna off a cliff.
What? Yeah,
So if there can only be one,
you could go next, Rosa.
I don't want to anymore.
You don't? What, do you
No,
think
I
you're a
wa-
bigger Sonic fan than me?
I was in it for the challenge.
Oh.
Wait.
So I
wait,
guess-
Wait, did I really drew Nick down the clip?
Hello?
Nick?
What's happening? Nick?
Oh my
Rosa,
god!
what did you do?
He's dead!
I don't know. I don't know.
Rosa, this.
Ah.
How could you have been so brash and impulsive just because you wanted to talk about the Sonic movie first or next, after him, last?
See, talking about the Sonic movie. What did you think?
Okay. Hold on, let me.
Think it was the funniest movie in America?
Let me get. Hold on. Yeah, so the Sonic movie. So I saw the first one, and I guess I could have.
Sonic is the number one movie in America. It's the funniest movie of the year. Critics and audiences agree.
You get
Sonic
it.
is the number one movie ever made. It's the
Yeah? You got any more to say?
I did not do it this time.
Seep?
Hello?
Yeah? You have any more to say?
I'm sorry, my internet went out.
They were trying to stop you.
They're stopping my. It's the funniest bit. So anyway, I saw the first one, in the movie theaters, and yeah, it was like decent. I remember walking away from it thinking like, that was all right. That set the groundwork. I think it did a good job of showing a little bit of the appeal of Sonic and how it could work in a feature length context. But there's definitely things that I would have liked to see that weren't present. Like, because there's just so many characters and cool set pieces from Sonic. So I was kind of like, it kind of left me wanting more. I guess in a good way. I mean, it was fine. But now the second one, I think I think for me, this is the movie. This is the video game movie for me. Like, I feel like in terms of like adapting a video game source material in a way that really works for a big theatrical movie, I think this one did a pretty good job. And it basically, I think it's an improvement on the first one.
I agree for sure.
Pretty much
Yeah.
every way. Like, yeah. I can imagine some people liking the first one more just because it's like a small scale, like family film. But I don't know. If you're into Sonic, this is the clear like winner. This goes all out.
All
But
right.
yeah.
Rosa, do you want to go next? We can go in order from us and then our guest.
Yeah. So I was really happy. Had a great time. I felt really excited. I felt so giddy and happy just watching all the little callbacks and these fun little moments. I think like one of the best bits is like Sonic and Tails just getting along, being buddies and everything.
Hmm.
It's just super sweet and everything, and seeing Knuckles just be Knuckles. It's like really cool.
Right. Okay.
What about you,
you,
Nintendo?
Mr. Tendo?
Oh man, I have so much to say. So I saw this movie twice. There was an early screening, like the fan event on Wednesday, and beforehand there was a bit where Ben Schwartz was like, you guys can't spoil the movie, don't do it, not gonna happen. And I had tickets to go to there, and I used a free voucher that I got when I went to see Matrix 4 and they shut down the theater. And I was there. I was like, no, I wanted to see the Matrix 4 Resurrections. And wasn't able to do that, but I got a free voucher. So I used it on that Sonic ticket. And it was too much of a hassle to refund it. And I say that because there was, at the same theater, there was a free screening a whole week before the movie came out on a Saturday morning. So I got my friends together. We dressed up. We had a little Sonic prom.
That's adorable.
And we were in a theater full of children, lots of kids, screaming. There was a mom trying to get her kid engaged that sat next to me. So she was like cracking up more than the kid was.
Oh,
Okay.
But the positive was, even though I don't recommend. I'd say see this movie in a crowd of Sonic fans, but also don't, because it's a pandemic. So proceed with caution depending on where you live. I think that the fan reaction to this movie is so good, especially like the third act and the end credit scene where it gets extremely Sonic-y. Totally worth seeing in a theater. But as a movie, I think this is definitely better than the first. Besides maybe like the pacing and structure. Like I had to watch it again to realize, oh yeah, they're like I thought, oh, Tails doesn't have an arc, but no, he does. It ends after like the first hour, but there's some good development there. And also like lots of little things that I didn't pick up on. Like I guess yeah, I can spoil this. Tails steals a police car at the beginning, and you also see Wade, who's like the Adam Paley character. He drives a police car at the beginning, and it's assumed that Tails steals it. So then you see him riding around on a scooter later because Tails broke and destroyed the squad car.
Yeah.
Like little things like that I appreciated, and other things like Tails understands Earth customs and Earth slang because he's a stalker like Sonic, but Knuckles doesn't, which is I think that was a good way to kind of show his outsiderness instead of just making him like stupid.
Yeah, I'll
was a
understand
really-
Knuckles later, but yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, really good take on his character. I'm just gonna like keep going on his notes. I think we had a missed opportunity here on the podcast because there is a Butch Hartman BS joke in the movie.
There is.
There is. Maddie, one of the human characters that adopts Sonic, is like, "Oh, Sonic's gonna be fine. He'll find his way." And then it cuts to Sonic and Tails.
Oh, yeah.
I thought that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say real quick about like my theater viewing experience. When I saw this, I was the only person in the theater, and then 10 minutes into the film, a mom and a kid walked in, and 20 minutes into the film, like someone who was like 50 years old walked in by themselves, and it was just us four. And it was funny though because like the mom would lean over and would want to ask the child a question about Sonic, and he would explain it to her.
Oh, I
Nice.
want to say like I thought my theater was empty for a bit, but no, it was pretty packed.
Hmm.
It got pretty packed. And
Yeah,
I,
I had
when
a
it
few
was
people there.
over, I saw a little kid in like a Sonic onesie,
Aw.
and that was so cute.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Aw.
go on, Nick.
Yeah, my friend Sam pointed out that Preston Plays, the iconic YouTuber that I've never heard of, appears in a non-speaking role during the volleyball scene. I didn't know who he was, but he's like, dude, it's Preston Plays. And I was like, that sounds like a fake YouTuber. I'm sure Nick knows it sounds like a fake YouTuber.
I guess he looks like one of the guys in that scene.
Yeah. What else? He also leaned over and said, there's a part where there's a flashback and one of the echidnas used the master arrow to become really powerful, and he's like, they should do Enerjack, which is a specific Archie Sonic character. And I'm like, all right, that's pretty funny. Then 1 week later, Captain Penders is like, wait a second, they stole my idea. Even though they did not steal his idea. Have you guys talked about Ken Penders on the podcast here?
Not before, but I want to say about Ken Penders. He knows what he's doing. Like he does not actually believe for a single second they stole it. But the only way he can still stay relevant now is if he says that.
Yeah, if he says weird things on Twitter, like I'm going to start an NFT. It's going to cost $1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah.
Oh, Ken Penders. Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So I'll try to get through my last couple notes.
Oh, that's fine.
Crazy Carl was not in the movie. Very disappointed. There's a part where a random guy comes over to Tom in a truck that they take. Could have been Crazy Carl. Should have been Crazy Carl. He was like the one human character that didn't come back, and they brought back all of the human characters.
They brought back Wade.
They brought back way too many human characters. And Jim Carrey, he was charming. Definitely more like Eggman, but still Jim Carrey first, Eggman second, I think. But yeah, he did a good job. I think the best part was having him run around with Knuckles. I think that having that be the contrast to Tom and Sonic is very funny. Very funny. But we did get more Agent Stone. Not enough Agent Stone.
No, I agree.
But that character is really enjoyable because he's simply a Robotnik simp.
It
They
is.
do not. Yeah, they do not stray away from his relationship. The details of his relationship with Dr. Robotnik.
I think Agent Stone is like one of the funniest like things, like ideas. It's like, oh, what if this guy's entire characters? What if someone just really liked Dr. Eggman?
Right. Yeah. So yeah, that's your thoughts, Nick.
Yeah, a few more things. I guess we can talk about. Compared to the first movie, I think another big improvement was that there was a dance battle set to Uptown Funk.
Yes, Uptown
uh,
Monk.
Uptown Monk, yeah. Big Alvin
Hashtag Dave's party.
Hashtag Dave's party.
I'm not sure. Is that in the movie? Is that in the Chip?
Have you not seen Road Chip?
I have not. I've seen all the Chipmunks movies except
Ooh,
Road Chip.
you're missing
Why
out.
not?
That's the best one.
You're missing out on Dave's party.
Hashtags Dave party.
But yeah, I like
Yeah.
that. Instead of in the first movie, I realized when I've seen it, my focus immediately drops when you get to that scene with Tom, and it's like, dude, I'm gonna move to San Francisco and become a cop. But instead here, they had Tom support Sonic's arc, so that made the human characters feel more included. And even that one stretch of the movie that everyone on Twitter hates, where Sonic and friends are captured.
I actually to say about it.
Maddie and Rachel gotta stop the government and save the day. And first of all, it is a good breather from the Robotnik and Sonic heavy stuff at that point in the movie. I think it would have worked better if they cut around it. Like you just include a Robotnik and Knuckles scene in there, and I think people would have complained about it less.
I think that scene is hysterical. Just for like 20 minutes, it becomes a different movie.
Yes,
It
is so funny. It is such an enjoyable scene. It comes out of nowhere. But I also think it works on a world building aspect because Rachel, because of her involvement with Sonic, just accidentally, just knowing Tom, her entire wedding was co-opted by the government. And it also gives us the best line in the entire movie, which is Olive Garden guy.
Yes,
they called him that.
That's so funny.
Retconning that character into basically the gun commander from Shadow the Hedgehog.
Oh God! Yeah,
They killed Mike.
Such a great move. Yeah,
the Olive Garden guy is gonna play into Shadow's story.
I love how this is probably. I feel like that's probably my favorite new detail to that character from Shadow the Hedgehog now. Like we can call him the Olive Garden guy now, retroactively.
Yeah,
So funny.
I don't think he has an actual name in Shadow the Hedgehog.
He doesn't know.
Actually, they gave him a name. It was like Commander Tower, but I guess he has one if you consider him the same character from the movies.
I think that whole. See, here's the thing. Objectively, like, having an entirely different like kind of movie in the middle of your movie is like a flaw. But it was so funny. I just thought it was hysterical that this happened. And those two characters, like the ones that were getting married, I don't think they appear again after like they make up.
No. That's like completely separated.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. I want to sort of, I guess, mimic what you're saying. That is a moment where I think my main problem is that it just goes on. It didn't need to go on as long as it did, but just as a segment, I think it really worked because I think this movie has a lot of like. It's an adventure movie, so you're kind of going to like different, set pieces and places. And the movie's it's kind of always doing something different. Always kind of keeping you on your toes, showing you something new.
Yeah.
I think that kind of added a wrinkle to that, and I think I like how it was a way to like show off a lot of Tails' gadgets in one segment, but like the twist is that they don't know how they work, so they're just kind of accidentally just like making it through. Like that was pretty fun.
I gotta say,
and
someone kind of alluded to this in the chat, but this movie has a lot of Sonic Adventure elements. Like the beginning is very reminiscent of Station Square, and of course, in all Sonic Adventure games, you have to spend time with side characters that you don't really care about, but you have to get past them to get to Sonic and Tails.
Right. Yeah.
I liked Tom and Maddie in this one a bit more in general too. I thought playing up the father figure stuff helped a lot.
Yeah, it was
Right.
really sweet.
Because in the first movie, it was kind of just like was just kind of like a buddy movie kind of thing. It was a bit generic.
Hmm.
I think Sonic and Tom's relationship here feels a lot more like there are moments between them where I was just kind of like, oh, that's cute,
Yeah.
you know. Um, yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta say
So-
also, we gotta talk about Knuckles, and I have to say, maybe this is a weird word to describe Knuckles in this movie. I think he's kind of adorable.
He is.
Yeah, I could see that. Like he's we sort of talked about how they sort of incorporate, because like lately Knuckles has been kind of like, you know, kind of like the dumb meathead kind of
Yeah.
in the games, and they sort of they incorporate that kind of humor sort of, but the way they do it I think is more clever, and it's sort of it's more respectful of his character,
Yeah.
especially how it was like originally conceived, where he's like a fish out of water in this. He's kind of like how Sonic was
Hmm.
in the first movie, except he doesn't know anything about human culture whatsoever. And on top of that, he's been alone for a lot of his life because like his whole family. Spoilers. I mean, this is basic Sonic lore, but like he's the last echidna. So he sort of doesn't. He only knows like being raised as a warrior. Like he's clearly never really had friends. So there's a lot of just humor about him not understanding like social
Yeah.
conventions and stuff.
Not that he like can't count to 4. He just like doesn't understand like human culture, which is played for laughs, which works.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it works. I think it's funny. I was surprised with how funny Knuckles was because in the promotional material, I don't think there's really any like jokes around him.
Hmm.
They're just
He was
playing up
pretty-
how he's a threat.
He was pretty raw.
Was pretty raw. That's true.
He was
Incredibly.
pretty raw. But I guess in general, I'd say I was kind of surprised. I think I'd call this movie actually funny. Like I think that's fair to say. Like the first one had moments that I think were humorous. I think most of the humor, what most people say is like the humor is kind of carried by like Jim Carrey's performance and his dynamic with Stone.
That's true in the first
Um,
one, for sure, I think.
Yeah. Like, and a lot of the jokes from Sonic were just kind of like, pop culture references or like funny quips, and we still get some of that, but not as much. I was worried at first because a lot of the promotional material for this movie, I think, plays up like
They-
the reference humor.
They use that Winter Soldier line like in every trailer.
Yeah, I was secretly hoping that that line wasn't actually in the movie, and that was just something they made up for commercials, just because that would be so funny. Like just to have something that you see in every trailer, and then it's not actually in the movie. But I think there was a good, even though that stuff was still in there, I think they had plenty of other jokes that like actually made me like laugh out loud, which I was really glad about. I think overall I'd say it feels like it has sort of a more cartoony sense of humor. What do you think?
No, I kind of get that. Yeah, I mean, like stuff like the Uptown Funk dance battle. When that guy like ripped his like shirt off, like that tattoo of himself making the same pose. I thought that was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, better visual gags in this one.
Yes. A lot more stuff felt more driven by the animation. Probably because there's more animation in this movie. Like you
Mhm.
got 3 furry characters running around.
And they
I
could
like-
they could plan around the animation instead of having to redo it.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. Yeah. I like how I there's one joke about the joke with the Bible in this I thought was really funny. Do
Mhm.
you remember that?
Yes, the gun of the
Is
Bible.
that the wedding?
Very good.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that made me that was hysterical to me. I like when they first go to that Siberian bar, and it's just like playing up how like ridiculously like
Yeah,
gruff and mean
she
everyone
got
is.
like the skull. She's like knitting.
Yes, and there's like a fish head that someone cuts and it rolls over to Sonic and Tails and it says like "run" or
It's
something.
such a SpongeBob joke.
Yeah, very SpongeBob
Yeah.
movie where they go to the tug thug.
Yeah,
use the
so I think all that humor really worked, and it works in a way where I think kids and adults can appreciate it, especially if you like cartoons. You know, there's some good cartoony that I really like as a person who likes cartoons, and I hope they go more on that in future
I,
things.
there's probably some things I can nitpick about this movie, but if I earnestly have like one major problem with it, and I don't know how other people feel about this, the scores in these movies aren't bad at all, but I feel like they could be more interesting. Like, there's a part where like Sonic is fighting Knuckles in that temple, and once he starts fighting, like a guitar riff comes in, and I was really into that, and then it just kind of goes back to orchestra. I kind of wish the score was a bit more rocky, to be frank.
Yeah.
Okay,
It doesn't really
Ryan.
have a strong identity.
Ryan, so there's actually an explanation behind that rock music.
Yeah.
It's not from the movie. It is from the Ant-Man and the Wasp soundtrack.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I stayed through the credits the first time I saw the movie to see if there's like an after credit scene, which we'll get to the mid credit scene,
Yeah.
I'm sure. But yeah, one of the music credits is "I Shrink, Therefore I Am" from Ant-Man and the Wasp original soundtrack. And it's used. I looked it up, and yeah, that's what's used during the Sonic and Knuckles theme. And I don't know why they paid. Maybe it was like a temp track or something. That's my running theory. But I don't know why they paid money for that. But they couldn't license out like some Sega music from the games. I know they use the Sonic theme as a ringtone. I know that the music from those early Genesis games is locked up in some legal trouble or very expensive.
Yeah. See, it's weird. I don't even like need music from the games to be like placed into the movie. I think it's just more like tone. Like I would like stuff that's like of the spirit of like the games.
Right. I think as it is,
if they do the next movie and they don't play Live and Learn.
Oh yeah, they're gonna fuck up so bad if they don't do that.
Yeah.
There's even a moment where like Robotnik's like he starts like playing rock music and like dancing to it, and it sort of continues to play, and I thought that was like, oh, that's gonna be like the background music to this climax. But then it just kind of cuts back in with the MCU score.
Yeah, that's how I can describe it. It's like an MCU score. I just kind of wish there was a bit more Sonic-y music is how I would put it. I think that would help with the action scenes. Like when the snowboard scene was happening, it was like just like an orc. So like this would be like a really fun place to put like some like fun action like car riff type stuff.
Yeah, I don't think it ruins the movie, but it's definitely something that's just like, yeah, it'd be nice if we could get that down. That's something to work on.
They are paying attention. We know they are because they also had actual pixel artists in the credits this time.
Yes. The credits pixel art in this was like really good. It had like scan lines and everything.
They also got a good rapper to do it.
Yeah,
Kid Cudi did a good job.
Yeah.
It's a good song. Although I gotta say, someone out of context played a clip where it sounds like he says "cum zone," and I thought to myself, that has to be like cut off from something else. But no, I have no idea what he's supposed to be saying in that part of the song except for "cum zone."
Come to the zone.
One problem.
Come into the zone.
There's just one problem. The cum zone was running out of cum. Equalizer. So correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm the fake Sonic fan here. The temple they're in is Labyrinth Zone, right? That's what it is. I recognize like those bird faces from like the sprites and stuff. I recognize those.
Right. Yeah, and they also had like the big. I love how they straight up just had like the water slides. From the game.
I noticed that too.
That was like really goofy, but like I kind of love that. Like I wasn't expecting them to just straight up do that.
Yeah.
I think that kind of speaks a lot of the incorporation of Sonic elements. I really like something interesting about this. I remember after the first movie, I think a lot of people said was like, they wish they could have seen more of Sonic's world, because you literally get 2 minutes of it in the first movie, and then you never see it again. But something interesting is that that's not a complaint I have about this movie. But they did not once go to like Sonic's planet. Like you don't see the Green Hill Zone loop to loop. But it still feels like the settings they chose just felt authentic enough to Sonic.
They
I don't think anyone would.
They put more fantasy elements like into our world. Like they go to like an owl looking cave with the statues everywhere, and then like Labyrinth Zone is in our world and stuff like that.
And even the stuff that isn't like super outlandish, like snowboarding down a mountain, that's just a very Sonic-y sort of thing. Like you don't need to be on a specific planet to do something like that. Or like him at the beginning running around the city, that felt very like Sonic Adventure.
Yes, I'm glad that if they're doing Shadow and in the third movie, that's the mid credit
Yeah,
scene.
I guess we should just say that. Yeah, Shadow's in the after credits.
Shadow. The next movie's Shadow the Hedgehog. Specifically, they said they found him at a black site. So, are they going to do aliens? Are they going to go to space and do the black arms? And because I mean, I feel like they're gonna. I feel like you have to go to space and do some of that and like maybe the pyramid cave zone, pyramid base from Sonic Adventure 2. Those are two like level motifs they haven't really covered that are pretty Sonic-y.
Right back. Keep talking. Sorry, I just gotta do something.
I feel like they'll probably have like the facility where Shadow was. They might have that be like underground. And maybe they'll like take it to outer space. I'm not sure because outer space is like in the games they pretty casually go there, like it's no big deal. But I wonder if like that'd be hard to swallow in like a live action sort of grounded kind of setting.
Yeah, at some point they just gotta start making these fully animated movies.
Yeah.
I'm back. What we talking about?
Sonic.
So true.
Sonic. Let's see, where
I wanted to say, kind of on the topic like Shadow being in the next one. It's kind of funny because with Shadow, it's pretty easy to like insert like Rouge the Bat into these like naturally connected. But I'm still wondering how the hell are they gonna get Amy in these movies? I still can't think of a way like naturally because like Rouge is like a spy, like she can naturally just kind of show up and she's connected to the Shadow. They're like kind of a duo. I don't know what to do with Amy. Like just like character wise, you could come with say like integrating her like to come into the story. Like what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I think something I thought of is they would probably have to change a lot about her because like the way she would be in she's kind of introduced in like Sonic CD is pretty similar to what they do with Tails here. So I feel like they don't want to retread that same sort of story. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. I feel like they would have to like visit their home world for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I think
I
they
feel
should
like
maybe take a page from the IDW comics and make her sort of like a rebellion leader, kind of on Sonic's world. Maybe if they want to flesh out Sonic's world, that would be a good way to do it. Get some like more freedom fightery elements in there.
I mean,
not saying they have to bring in the Sonic setting.
Whoa, wait! Sally's gonna be in the movie. Sally.
No, that's just an angle. I think, but I agree that bringing in Rouge the Bat is such an easy direction to go, especially if they want to do kind of like the Sonic X thing, where Gunn and the government are like, oh, we need our own Sonic, and they grab Rouge, who is like a kleptomaniac jewel thief, and they're like, yep, that'll work.
And Knuckles is already in these movies too, and they're kind of a dynamic too. So like, she kind of naturally just kind of fits in.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And they can make Rouge gay as a.
They're gonna put Topaz in the movie.
Oh hell yeah! Finally.
a couple notes. There's a tie-in comic for Sonic movie 2. And there's some interesting things. There's a bit where there's a side story where Tails is tracking Sonic and he goes through a bunch of worlds and they're all like levels from Sonic 1, like the K. I don't know, Labyrinth Zone, stuff like that.
Marvel.
So yeah, Marvel Zone, stuff like that. I think doing like a road trip, galactic road trip through all these different worlds would be a good route for a sequel. But also, I think that I like how all these movies have had kind of different genres. First movie's like a buddy comedy. Second movie's definitely Indiana Jones flavored action adventure. I want sci-fi thriller to be the third one, because if you're doing an SA2 type thing, that's a pretty easy route to take. I just want a Sonic Adventure 2 movie.
I think that's what a lot of people want to do. Right?
Yeah. That movie the game already feels like they watched an action movie and was like, let's do that.
Right.
Now,
yeah, it's more obvious the ways you can adapt like the later games into movies, just because the stories are more involved.
Yeah,
and such.
I do think we're missing something important here. In those comics, if you the background, you might notice a certain iconic detective
Oh,
I'm just saying,
Detective Ooey Gooey.
Detective. I'm just saying, Vector the crocodile and his ooey gooey sticky bubblegum should definitely be showing with the Knuckles show.
God dang. I love what the whole chat knows what you're talking about. This wasn't. I definitely watched that hero stream and I completely forgot about it.
Jeremy, look, it's my bubblegum move.
Step aside, Hedgehog. My sticky bubblegum bubbles should make quick work of this, of Shadow the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Stop that! They're blowing. That's all you're good at.
It's interesting. I would like to see like more of Sonic's world and characters from it, but I
Mhm.
wonder. It is kind of a question of like how that would work with Shadow, because the thing with Shadow, funnily enough, is that he just kind of naturally works with the setting being just like a live action real world.
Yeah,
already.
for sure.
So you kind of don't even need to do a lot of like bringing in a bunch of other characters, but at the same time, I feel like they probably really want to have characters like Amy in there.
For sure, I imagine so.
Like,
Yeah.
Amy is probably like the last like super huge popular Sonic character that hasn't really been touched on.
Rouge
any
to
of
that
these.
is pretty popular
Yeah,
in some ways.
And you're also forgetting about Zavok. You're kind of forgetting. You're kind of neglecting
Okay.
Zavok. It's my. I'm on the big screen. What does he even sound like? I talk about Zavok so much, I don't even know what he sounds like.
He's a foolish hedgehog. I'm very big and red. I'm the king of the Koopas.
Oh, you know what?
Get them fries.
You know what I think they could play up, and if they have a motif of like, too many hedgehogs, where you have like Sonic, Shadow, Amy, and Metal Sonic.
And
It's like a hedgehog and Silver. Yeah, sure. It's like a hedgehog bonanza.
The
could be a way
Archie Comics
to
did
do it.
this, and they called it Hedgehog Havoc, which is just how about we
Okay.
get all the Hedgehog characters, they fight each other. Oh, and Scourge the Hedgehog. We're Scourge the Hedgehog. He's Sonic but green.
By his
Scourge isn't a hedgehog.
NFT.
He's a demon. He's a. What's that other thing Ken Defenders were trying to do, or something? That
Oh, Scourge the Speed Demon, legally distinct Sonic the Hedgehog clone.
I do have some bad news for Green Eggman fans. Unfortunately, Ken Penders owns him, so Green Eggman can't be.
Green Eggman and Ham.
Green
Oh,
Knuckles.
yeah?
Oh,
He
you
owns
owns Green.
Green
Oh,
Knuckles.
okay, I'm sorry.
Gosh, damn it.
That's true, because Green Eggman was in Sonic Boom. I remember his action figure
my
along
God.
alongside Oil Tails.
The dance scene in this movie reminded me a lot of Sonic Boom.
Who owns like Eggman's fake brother?
Drew.
Yeah, Drew from Sonic Boom.
That's his name?
Isn't his name Steve Eggman?
I think so.
I just call him Drew because he looks like Gru's brother from Despicable Me 3.
Hush now.
Yeah. I think
I guess a miscellaneous.
if we're pitching Sonic movie ideas, I feel like Blaze and diving into alternate dimensions. It's something Eggman references when he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna rule the world, then the universe, then maybe the multiverse."
You know, it's so funny because I was like thinking about that. Like I was thinking about Amy. Like I can imagine Blaze in these movies easier than I can Amy.
Yes, because
It's
Blaze is
awkward.
action focused.
Yeah.
Right. Now, well, you could have a scene where Sonic's in prison, and then who else but Amy show up?
Have no fear, Amy Rose, and they can walk around. For that one scene, they could be like very obviously mocapped. A treat for the fans.
Yes. Yeah, that would be a good callback. Everyone would point to the screen and say, like, the mocap is back.
Oh, now here's the thing. If they're doing an SA2 movie, gotta have Soap Shoes Sonic, and then make the Soap Shoes Sonic movie plush.
But how would he?
Yes. No, they bring back. Like Rachel's like daughter. Was it her daughter?
JoJo,
That little girl.
Yeah.
She's like, I got a new pair of shoes for you, Sonic. she's gonna be the shoes character who gives Sonic all his iconic marketable
And
shoes.
then they
I
could
get an
make the
idea.
Soap Shoes Sonic movie plush. Go on. Sorry.
Okay, I got
Yeah.
a question. Did they show Sonic grinding on rails yet?
I don't think they have. Have they?
No,
That's
they
how
gotta
they do
say
it.
that. They gotta make a whole movie about that.
No,
Oh
they're
my
gonna have
god.
a bit where like he tries to grind on the rail like Shadow, but it burns up, and then that's where the kid comes with like Sonic, I got you covered. It gives him the new branded soap shoes.
I was
What
gonna.
is that like the only way they can move around like the facility? It's just like a rail system.
I wanted to say, there's been some debate about whether they should have done Metal Sonic instead of Shadow. Here's the thing: I like Metal Sonic a lot. I think he has the coolest design ever made. But it's interesting because I feel like with Metal Sonic, I would kind of know what to expect from a follow up. With Shadow, it's like I'm more interested to see where they go with Shadow than I would Metal Sonic. Is probably how I would word it.
Yeah. I feel like Metal Sonic is usually more of an extension of like Eggman's robots. Like he's cool on his own still, but like I feel like with Shadow there's just a lot of depth you can get into. Like I feel like they could tie him into like some of the backstory of like Earth's connection with Sonic's world.
Yeah.
Because there's clearly like a pre-established like because like the owls have built these like places to like hold the emerald on Earth. So there's some sort of connection that used to be there that has since been like forgotten maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. One more thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if the Chaos Emeralds and the Master Emeralds were always kind of like connected in the way this movie does it, but I kind of like that they were.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was streamlined the lore a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, on that note, maybe this is a Sonic hot take. I tend to find as time has gone on, I feel like Super Sonic being super powerful means like nothing anymore. Something I liked about this movie is they really like showed how just unbelievably powerful Super Sonic was. I thought that was fun.
I think they also did. I like how Robotnik taking the Master Emerald sort of set that up too, so it didn't feel like out of nowhere for him to like transform into Supersonic.
Yeah.
It sort of like establishes that it gives you like I don't know like basically like god powers pretty much.
Yeah.
You can conjure up like whatever like your imagination wants or whatever they say. Yeah, I honestly thought it was really clever. I wasn't sure how they were going to do the Chaos Emeralds because it's kind of in a video game it makes sense to have like a bunch of like little collectibles
Yeah.
throughout. But in a movie it would have just felt like to have like the Master Emerald and the Chaos Emeralds like it would have been like convoluted. So I really like how they like the Chaos Emeralds literally like composing the Master Emerald just really makes sense. I think
Yeah.
it's really easy to understand. So yeah, I really like that
Yeah,
detail.
I don't really mind when these movies like change the lore, but you're also talking to the person who likes the original Mario Brothers movie, so
Right. I mean, you know, there are ways to change the lore that are just completely necessary because it's a different medium, and I think that's something these movies are smart about. Largely, like they don't feel the need. They don't feel obligated to do things exactly how they are in the games. Like they can just have like, oh yeah, Labyrinth Zone is just the same as like where the Master Emerald is kept. You know,
yeah.
it's fun. It's fun.
Does anyone have any final thoughts on Sonic before we move on to kind of questions to wrap up?
What are your predictions for the Knuckles spinoff?
I have two. I think it's gonna be either him at a younger age. I think might be hard because the whole idea is he's isolated, so maybe we'll see what they do with that. My other one would be he kind of goes off on his own, and that's how we get the chaotics, and that's when Vector.
Yeah,
Knuckles Chaotix, let's
I
go.
think making the show Knuckles Chaotix would be that would be good. But I also think that's a good way to if you're gonna do Rouge in the third movie. I feel like bringing her
Oh.
into the
That's a good
spinoff
one.
first,
Yeah.
setting her up there. That would be a really good way to do it.
Yeah.
I
They're
don't know.
building up this whole universe.
It's so weird that she's like, yeah, oh, of course, that's like the most logical character bringing next,
Right.
The big boob bat character.
Yeah.
But she is
Okay.
pretty intertwined with Shadow's story. Yeah, that's the tagline. Let's say things are gonna get a little chaotic.
Vic the Cat in the movie. No, Vic the Cat did not cameo. He will. I think he will be in one of the. I don't think he's ever gonna be like a main character in these movies, but he's gonna cameo eventually.
Yeah, he has to. He has to. I think exploring more of like the home planet would be a good thing to do for the Knuckles show. I mean, I guess at that point, is it even live action? You know?
Yeah. They might want to
But
try to shoehorn in the actors again. So I don't know. I don't
Right.
know who you would have as human supporting characters in that movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, I could see like just have like a quick interject of like Tom and Maddie, like sometimes, just because it seemed. I guess they all live together. I'm
They're all a
assuming
big family.
maybe,
Mhm.
yeah, or maybe like they live nearby. I don't know what their living situation is.
Sonic
exactly.
and
They don't
Tails
explain
probably
that.
live with her, and Knuckles is probably like still a bit on his own. Is how I kind of looked at it.
Mhm. You know
Yeah.
what? You know what's a missed opportunity that could have perfectly set up the Knuckles spinoff?
But
At
What?
the end, when Knuckles reforges the Master Emerald, it shouldn't have come back together. It should have shot off into a million little pieces across the
Oh.
multiverse, and then Knuckles has to
Uh-oh.
go on a fetch quest. And then in the sound, there's no soundtrack. All you hear is the radar noises from Sonic Adventure.
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you want to say, Rosa?
No, nothing.
Oh, I thought I heard you try to say. I also want to say real quick. Also, I thought the part of the end where like Knuckles picks up Tails and puts them on his shoulder was really cute.
Oh yeah, that was so cute. Them playing baseball together like a family, buddies.
I
They're
think to
Sonic
talk about
heroes.
it is a good place to talk about just like the dynamic of them all together.
Mhm.
I think it was really clever. I don't think any of the games have done this really, where it really feels like there's something that connects like Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles together. Like they have kind of a found family sort of thing because they're all like Tails was like bullied as a kid, and it's pretty clear like Sonic is his first like real friend.
Mhm.
And then like Sonic was orphaned at a young age and had to spend a lot of his life alone. And the same thing happened with Knuckles. So they all kind of like it feels natural why they're all friends, in that sense. I thought that was a really clever way to really make them feel like a unit. Like it's really, I think it felt really satisfying at the end when they were all like doing their team up attacks like Sonic
Yeah.
Heroes. I think that
Oh,
was like
yeah.
it felt very earned, which I like.
I understood it because I played that one.
And like
Yeah.
Tails just using his gun.
It's one of Ryan's 4 Sonics.
That's Heroes, Colors, Generations. The fourth. Oh, I played Adventure. I played Adventure too.
Pretty good.
That's acceptable.
I like playing Adventure because it makes me feel like I'm doing parkour.
Mhm.
Sonic. Well, hold on. Sonic
What about
Lost
Sonic
World.
Lost
Yeah.
World. Come
Yeah.
on, the whole parkour system.
Yeah, I think how they actually should have set up the Knuckles spinoff is that all of the Master Emerald shards scattered to specifically the Lost Hex, but only Zalek is there.
And he goes, "Oh, this will
The
be
dead
fun."
one.
Zavik is Snowy.
He gets the Chaos Gauntlet.
Alright,
He is our
uh,
Thanos.
I have a lot of miscellaneous things.
you can just shoot this out real quick before we start wrapping up.
I like how they didn't rely as much on the Quicksilver segments. There's like one very brief, like 10-second nod to it. But like the scenes where like it like slows down, like Sonic basically freezes time. They were cute, but I think everyone just calls them the Quicksilver segments because that's just people know that from the X-Men movies, and it felt a little too derivative. So I like that they sort of had more Sonic-y sort of speed things.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think that action scene between Sonic and Knuckles at the end, well, not the end, but like their last big fight.
Yeah.
That was really cool. It was kind of brutal sometimes. Like they were really like beating each other up. I was
Yeah.
surprised.
Bashing him into the ground.
Yeah, but it was really cool. I like that. Let's see what else. Oh, Ryan, you've sort of talked about this. I'm interested to see Agent Stone as just like a sole villain. I wonder how they do that.
I proposed the concept if Jim Carrey doesn't come back. It seems like he's retiring, but is still up to do Sonic bare minimum. But if he doesn't come back, I'm into the idea that Agent Stone just kind of becomes Eggman.
Oh, I like that. I also like the idea of Robotnik maybe like puts his spirit or something into a machine, and you could do that could be how you get Metal Sonic or something with that. I feel like him becoming a robot is like what they were going for with some of Carrie's performance here.
Right. I like how the ending of this, like the mid-credit scene, it has kind of like a maybe Robotnik is dead. We don't know.
Yeah.
Sort of as like like I think they probably weren't sure if Jim Carrey would come back, so they just kind of left it open.
Yeah.
Um, what?
I want to say, like, speaking of like him, his soul going to a robot body. Technically, that was the thing in the Archie comics.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Robotnik. Yeah.
I actually knew about that.
That's how they got like the
Modern
current
Eggman.
designer.
Yeah.
That's such an interesting thing. I'm Nintendo spoilers for future projects. I've been starting to reread the Archie comics from step one, to make like a Fairly Odd Parents retrospective style big old video on it. And the fact that they set up the Robotnik stuff so early on, only to just be like, well, how are we gonna bring Robotnik back for Sonic Adventure with his new design? I mean, it's both like I don't want to say it's clever because it clearly was not thought out, but very good use of the world, and what they had established.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, I'm all in for like if Jim Carrey doesn't come back, Agent Stone just kind of takes the Eggman name. I'm all in for that. I think that'd be funny.
Yeah.
If Agent Stone dies, you think they'll like cut to like a little egg, and it crashes
What?
in it, and you hear like.
What does this imply that like they had a baby?
They have a villain. That's the villain of the fourth movie is baby Eggman and Stone fusion.
It's Boxman Jr.
Lord Boxman should just be the villain. If they can't do it, he just emerges from the portal. It's the OKKO
Yeah.
crossover movie.
That just seems that'd be canon to OKKO also.
Ryan, did you think it was better or worse than Let's Meet Sonic? Which is hard, right?
It's hard.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Let's Meet Sonic does have multiple references to Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog in it.
Oh.
Gives it a huge boost. I love. You don't give me time to think about it. I gotta simmer on it.
All right. Well, we can do questions.
Yeah. Okay. You should take 2 or 3 questions at the end of the show. You can start. I'm gonna move Sonic's explosion screen. Someone asked also. I saw this in chat. Asked about the multiverses roster leak. I've known about that roster for like a month now. So it's not news to me.
I will say something that did disappoint me about the movie is that before it started, they did not have a computer animated theater etiquette animation where like Sonic's phone was ringing. And he answers like, "Oh, hello? Yeah, I'm not doing anything right now." And then he like puts his feet up on the seat in front, and Knuckles is sitting there, and then he's like, "Would you keep it down? I'm trying to watch the film." And then everyone else in the theater goes, "Shh," at Knuckles. He's like, "But I was just," and then he crosses his arms and he looks angry, and then it says, "Don't ruin the movie."
Yeah. On that note, I thought all the voice acting is really good in this movie. They got Tails' game actor. They got Ben Schwartz. Ben Schwartz is funny. I feel like at some point people are gonna be like, "Oh, that dude's annoying," but nah, he's still funny. He's still funny. He's still funny, guys.
Sorry, my dog was barking at the dog next door, and I had to stop.
Oh, really? Is that why you didn't laugh at that perfect joke I made?
Yeah, I'm sorry. What joke did you make? You can tell me again.
I was talking about how they should have had a theater etiquette animation where Sonic is being disruptive at the movie theater. He's slurping loudly. He's like taking Knuckles' seat in front of him. And then Knuckles yells at him. And then everyone shushes Knuckles and he crosses his arms angrily.
A good one.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yeah,
I feel vindicated.
You guys can ask some jokes. Chat. You can ask some questions now. Sorry. I'll reply to the multiverses thing real quick. I've known about this for like a month. I think most people won't be satisfied with it. I'm gonna be honest. But for me, I feel like they made this roster for me and no one else. It's got like a lot of modern Cartoon Network characters on it. It doesn't have a lot of the classic ones that like people would get mad about not having. Velma's on it, which is for me. They got Gremlins in it, which is also for me. Yeah, it was made for it. It was made for me and no one else. I'll just say that.
All right.
Is Shaq in there?
No, but LeBron is.
Someone's asking about Mario movie info. There was like, I don't know if it was a leak. I guess it's more of a rumor. Of like a few details. I don't remember. Did anyone else hear about this?
What was it? Do you remember?
It was something. There was a few details. I think one of them was saying that like Illumination was like really, they're like trying to get their best animators on this project. Like they delayed Despicable Me 4 just to make sure that this movie like gets to be as good as it can be.
Well,
Oh, yeah, I saw this.
I imagine
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised that's real because I imagine the pressure's on like to make a good Mario movie, and that Sonic is making good movies.
Right. I will say, Sonic has broken a record for like biggest box office opening for a video game movie. I feel like the Mario movie is a looming shadow over that right now.
Here's my stance. I think the Sonic 2 is going to be the better movie. I have no doubt in my mind. But the Mario movie is going to make so much money it's incomprehensible.
Yeah, we are definitely gonna get those like Donkey Kong spin-offs and like
Yeah.
all these other. I think that's pretty safe to bank on. I'm not. No, now see, a lot of people don't have faith in it quality-wise, but just as a marketable movie that will get people to watch it, I think it's going to succeed on that front.
Yeah.
Like that's Illumination's whole thing. Yeah.
The minute they say Chris Pratt is Mario, that was it. My ticket has already been bought.
No, I mean, like, just when they announced the cast for this movie, Twitter for like a week and a half was just talking about that.
Yeah.
I was just talking about that in real life. I was incredibly obnoxious and insufferable.
Same
I
with
have the leak.
what's the leak? Tell me the leak.
Chris Pratt test run. Voice test.
Yeah.
That's Mario. Let me
Oh.
just find it. Don't worry at me. You can keep going.
Okay,
I was waiting for people in chat to ask questions, but I don't think anyone has any right now.
Yeah.
No,
I can bring up the I did you find it?
Yeah.
Okay, where let's have it. Let's have it.
I don't know.
like this image. I don't like the video preview of this.
I mean, the easiest way to show this would just capture the window. Give me a second here.
Okay. I laughed in my seat and clapped. Oh, here it is.
And
There we
this
go.
is
Well,
what
let's
I'm
watch it
looking
first.
For Mario. Let's go.
Oh my god!
All right. Did you just make this, Rosa? What?
No.
Okay.
No, I made this a long time ago.
Hey, see, what do you want to say before we wrap up?
I
No,
like
it-
the part in the Sonic movie where they play the same song that Scooby did on The Masked Singer.
Wait, that's the song Scooby said?
I think it's very vital. Yeah, he sings that on The Masked Singer. And then Ken Jeong goes, Scooby Doo, and then they take off his mask. He goes, "Hello, everyone." Yeah.
All right.
And then
Who asked the question?
Nobody did. Nobody asked any questions tonight.
No,
So
I have a question.
yeah, okay.
For Nintendo of
Yeah, hold on. We got a celebrity here.
Yeah, this is Nintendo. He's never been on our show before. This is our
actually
first
my
big
full
call.
name is Nicholas Nintendo, just like miles tails per hour.
Wow.
Which they say Sonic says miles tails per hour in the movie, and I'm like, did they check that? Did they proofread that script? Why would you say his full name like that?
That's what it is. That you put the nickname in the middle.
Yeah, but you write it out that way.
I mean, come on. I guess so. I guess it's fair.
It ruined the movie.
Wait, it
The
was so
very
close.
end. It was so good. It was so good. It was so
Yeah.
perfect.
Do you think?
I could just say something nitpicky and be like, "Oh no, it ruined it."
Yeah. What did you think of the fart jokes in the movie? This is a genuine question.
I thought they were tolerable.
Yeah, these were some quality fart jokes. I like the Ferris Bueller style contraption one. Where
Yes,
it's just
that was-
Sonic making the noise. Yeah, that one was
that
good.
was really cute. I liked that.
Yes.
I liked that. That was a good fart joke that I liked. I don't
Mhm.
remember what the second one was,
It's
but
Tails' speech translator says, "Oh, I farted. Stand back, I farted."
okay, it's like a Sonic Colors joke then.
Yes, it is.
So I think
I hate it now.
the saving grace there is that none of the actual characters farted.
Yeah.
I think that would have been too. I think that was pushing it in the first one, the fart joke, like Sonic farting. It's like we can't have Sonic fart. If Sega had more like creative control over this, they would have cut that
Would have
instantly.
cut the fart.
Yeah, you can't have Sonic fart. I mean,
He did in the
You
first
know?
movie.
Yeah, whether you
I
like it or
know,
not.
but I'm saying that they, if Sega was more involved, they would not have let that slide. I can't accept that Sonic farts. It's like if Mickey Mouse farted, you know?
Has
Or
he
if he
Mickey
went to
Mouse
the bath-
farted ever?
I don't
Yeah.
think he has. I don't think he's allowed to.
It's against brand rule.
Yeah.
There's a great
You don't Yeah.
comment from the chat that I would like to read. It's me, a Mario.
Yeah. Oh,
That
boy.
happened.
All right.
Ugh.
Any final things you want to say before we wrap up?
Oh, I have another question for you, Ryan. Specifically,
Okay, fine. Well, yeah. Less link.
did this stack up to Angry Birds 2?
I'm gonna just.
Maybe.
I'm gonna be honest.
No
So, like,
preacher question?
I still liked Angry Birds 2 more.
Wow.
I'm going to.
I
that's
thought
fair.
I thought Angry Birds 2 was just really funny. This is all I have to say.
All right, that's fair. I'm gonna let you have that.
Well,
I'll let you have
Hey,
that one.
Yeah.
does anyone have a precure question?
How many pre-cures are there total?
It takes more than like 2 hands to count.
Okay, so it's impossible to count. Well, I have a question for you real quick before we wrap up here. I actually have a question for everyone here in the call and in the chat. Do you all mind answering for me? Can
Sure,
you
I'll
can
finish.
can you please say, "I have the ring"?
I knew
No.
it. I knew it. I was waiting.
I have
my
the ring
God.
right here, ring right here. Everybody,
If you wanna watch
I have the
Precure-
ring. Yes, I sing. I have the ring right here.
If you wanna watch
I have the
Precure-
ring. Yes, I have the ring. I have the ring right here. Tell him, Carl. I have the ring. Yes, I have the ring. I have the ring right here. Oh, I have the ring. I have the ring.
Obvious.
I have the ring. Tell him, Carl. I have the ring.
I have the ring.
I have the ring right here. Tell him, Carl. I have the ring. Yes, I have the ring.
hour-long loop. What is
I
that?
have the ring right.
Okay, so we gotta do a send off for Nintendo.
Okay. Before
This is
we
the
end.
last episode ever.
Send off
Yeah.
for me? Oh shucks, guys, you couldn't have. What did you guys have in mind?
Well,
Well.
we shoot you out into space.
Oh yeah, hold
What?
on. Let me play this special Nintendo being shot into space video.
Wait a second, you
no,
shot me off a
we
cliff? Now I'm
we
getting
can't do-
shot into space?
Yeah.
Are we allowed to do 2 like Jimmy Neutron song jokes that we play on the stream and like sing along to it in a
Yes,
row?
absolutely. All right, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. As we wrap up, please wish Nintendo a safe trip into space.
Oh no!
Maria, this is what you wanted, right? This is my promise I made to you.